And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Lauren Boebert, or Boebert, however you want to pronounce it. This is a very interesting thing. It's kind of been a trend over the past couple of shows dealing with some adult-themed content, but I'll keep it as PG-13 as possible. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, New York City protests over the so-called migrant crisis boiled over. AOC, Jerry Nadler, Jamal Bowman, all the rest of the people over there got shouted down into oblivion, as our legendary Mike Tyson would say. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Kamala Harris does not get much admiration, love, or respect from the Democratic Party. You ask Jamie Raskin, Nancy Pelosi, hey, would she be a great pick for 2024? They don't want to say yes, although it should be a slam dunk. But somehow people from their side want to blame the right for not embracing her. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Russell Brand is facing a slew of accusations from women. And this is crazy because the women came forward after reporters launched an investigation. How about police? How about law enforcement? We'll talk about Hunter Biden being indicted as well, and a lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank you guys for being here yet again. I appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, if you enjoy the channel, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. This is also an audio-only podcast. You can hear it on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And of course, shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information. Go to the link in the box or just visit the website in your browser, patriotpost.us, and tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website where I write articles for each video that I produce. And at the end of each article, there's links, sources from left, right, politically agnostic, independent, whatever you want, right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Again, ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Also on the website, you can find videos and whatnot that I can't really show right here because I know a lot of y'all want to see the Lauren Boebert video, and I got statistics. I might show some of the stats one day. I know where you're going, how long you're there, and everything else on my website. I'm not trying to track a location and all that kind of good stuff, but I know you nasty boys out there wanted to see that video. But anyway, if you want to see stuff like that or other things that I mentioned during the videos, go to the website. Everything will be right there for 100% free. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact, to find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All that good stuff is right there on anthonyblogan.com/contact. And it's not Twitter anymore. It's X. Same difference, same deal. Y'all know what it is. Go to the contact page. And as I always say in every single video, live stream that is, do not get scammed. If I post a video, like here's a scenario, here's what happens. Here's how you guys get tricked sometimes. Now, I know most of you guys that always hear me say this, you would never fall for a game like this, but sometimes people, they still do it. I still get emails saying, hey, I thought that I could trust you, ABL. You're a great commentator. And I sent you $45,000 and I thought I was going to get $45,100 back. You scammed me. That's not me, sir. That's some dude with a 15-syllable last name living in Lagos, Nigeria, or some 1,500-ton person on the ground in Lithuania somewhere. It's not me. But anyway, I digress. Here's a scenario. What'll happen is I'll upload a video. You'll comment on the video, and then someone will reply to your comment. And then the person may have my picture, a name that looks like mine, and then they say, hey, contact me on some random 45-digit phone number, and we could talk business. It's ABL. I promise you that's not me. Okay? I will never talk to you about any kind of random get-rich-quick scheme ever on the internet. And you know the best way to figure out if it's me or not? You can see me right now talking to you, talking at you. I'm a real person. I can respond to your comments live and in action. Like, I can read anyone's comment. Shout out to Ashes Heartless, who says, remember to hit the like. That's right there in the comments. You can see it. This is me talking at you live. Now, if you're communicating with some random number and you don't talk to them live, and it's get rich quick, and the grammar is all over the place, and they can barely communicate, just take that as a clue that it's fake. And again, go to the contact page to see if your communication method is listed. If the email says, I'm a Nigerian scammer at gmail.com and not contact@anthonyblogan.com, it's not me. So don't get scammed. Ain't nobody got no time for that. All right. So shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Now, we got quite a bit to get through. Oh, we're going to get to Lauren Boebert. Oh, we shall get to that. We got a whole lot going on. There is so much happening. I don't even know where to start. I got quite a few videos aside from that video, which I cannot show the big one. I got it on my website, and I know y'all wanted to see it. Matter of fact, let me check on my website right now. I'm not gonna show the stats. Let me just see what it's doing right now. Yeah, you guys are blowing me up. I definitely got a big spike in traffic today. Oh my goodness. Like, I could tell a certain metric. There's one metric I can see instantly, aside from traffic specifically, that shows if I got a big spike in traffic. And I most certainly did. You guys are wild. But anyway, aside from that, which is on the website, I got quite a few more things going on here, and we will get to all of it. But we got a lot happening. I don't even know where to start. But I want to thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. I could not do this show without you. All right. So there's a few things I want to show. Y'all got to give me a minute. Yo, you guys are crazy. Lauren Smokert. I mean, to me, she's just kind of regular. But, everybody got their own thing they like. And it's fine. It's totally fine. It's not really a big deal at all. Now, let me just get to where I want to get to. And thank y'all again for joining. Now, let's see. Where are we here? Oh, yeah. I want to show this one because your man, John Fetterman, is out here doing this thing. Now, I thought John Fetterman had a brain issue, a traumatic brain injury. Am I right about that? That's what I thought. I figured she had a traumatic brain injury, but maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's incorrect. I don't really know. I can't really truly call it. Now, let me just show what's happening right here. All right. So you have a pending strike, or it might be happening right now. I think I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to do a little bit more digging on the UAW auto worker strike. They're saying they want a 40% raise, all kind of stuff. Now, my thing is, hey, if you go on strike, I'm trying to get a new truck here pretty soon. Like, okay, I got my Ford Mustang and I got a Camry, so I got two sedans. I need a truck for inclement weather. So I'm trying to get a 2024 Toyota Tacoma, the new Tacomas, or one of the new Land Cruisers if I can get it for a good price on the lease. Okay. Now, I'm not quite sure if the UAW contract is going to impact that, but I need my MSRP to be below 50. I need it below 50. If you guys are going to raise my price up to above 90, I mean, that's not really acceptable. That's not acceptable, man. Hey, import third world workers, automation. I'm playing, but I'm not playing. I want my MSRP to be below $50,000. But you know what's happening here before I get to the video of your man driving the Ford Bronco, which is kind of a miracle in itself. If you had a traumatic brain injury and you could barely speak or read, how you going to drive a car on the road? Anyway, this is going to be a problem that I think you're going to see all over the world because of inflation. Inflation is a real thing, and that printing and spending most certainly has consequences beyond just the obvious. Interest rates, things like that, your money not going as far as it should. You're going to see people do stuff like this because they're saying, hey, man, we can't, the cost of living that surpassed us, we're not getting paid enough, and we're selling all these cars. Let's jack up the prices by 40%. But anyway, yeah, slightly used. I would buy a slightly used vehicle. It depends on how much the MSRP is versus what I can get for a lease as far as my payments, because I don't really plan on keeping the car regardless, but that's a different story. Anyway, let's go ahead and show this right here. Do we have sound? That might help. Hopefully there's no music and RP headphone users. Now, wait a minute. If you're in the Ford Bronco with no doors or roof on top, and you see my man right here driving, like, let's say, for example, okay, if you don't know, this is John Fetterman. Yes, that's him. He looks different in every single picture and video you see of him. Like, there's 4 of this guy running around the United States. But check it out. If you call an Uber and this guy pulls up, basketball shorts, hoodie, Ford Bronco with no doors or roof on it, what are you going to do? Are you getting in the car with John Fetterman? All right, are you getting in the car with him? He says, hey, Susan, now my name is Jeannie. Susan, come on and get in. Where are we going? We going to the Liberty Bell? No, we're going to the beach. Come on, Liberty Bell, come on, let's go. I'm not getting in the car with you, sir. I'm fearing for my life. The seatbelt ain't going to do, seatbelt airbags, roll bar ain't going to do no good in the car with John Fetterman. I'm sorry. Okay? It's just that simple, man. Like, I am not going. But for some reason, he was driving. Now, this video was to support UAW and the strike and all that kind of stuff. That's what it's for. Because it's in the Ford Bronco. Obviously, that's an American-made vehicle, and that's just kind of what it is. And I like Ford Broncos, but I heard they had really bad engine problems. You know, one thing about the strike, can we get some quality control at some of these plants? You know, we can't be having these meth heads in Detroit making these vehicles with all kind of crazy problems that vary from car to car. Some of the Ford Broncos have catastrophic issues with the engine, and some are totally fine. Let's get some better quality control before you want to get a 40% increase in the raise. But anyway, I digress. Is that not him? That's what I've been hearing. Some say that's not him. That's a stunt double. That's some other kind of guy. Hey, whoever it is, if it looks like John Fetterman, I'm going to go ahead and not risk that. I'm going to stay right where I'm at. I'm going to cancel that Uber ride if he showed up to take me anywhere. Okay? I don't care if it's down the street, up the street, around the corner. I think I'm good to go. I'm not going to be able to get into the vehicle with him. All right. But and here is your man Joe Biden talking about the strike. I'm not quite sure when this was recorded. Let me go ahead and get it on the screen right quick and play it.
President, are you worried about an auto strike? An auto strike? UAW? You want to come over? A strike!
So the question, you heard it, the reporter was asking Joe Biden if he's worried about a strike. And it took him a while to really register the question. He's like, huh, what happened? And then he finally says, no, I'm not worried about a strike until it happens. I don't think it's going to happen. And here we are. I'm not sure who made this clip. This is funny. And then this is a funny little video. So they switched to a headline that says UAW begins strike at GM4 and Stellantis plants. Here's what to know. The strike began on Friday morning at 3 plants, but could expand if contract talks remain bogged down. U.S. economy could lose $5.6 billion in revenue if UAW strikes for 10 days.
It's false. No way. Not this time. Not this time. No, not this time.
And then this is a compilation of the false, not this time. What was this, Mythbusters or something like that? But anyway, and then the caption says, reality after Joe Biden makes a prediction.
Mr. President!
So yeah, that's what's happening right now. Shout out to your man, Joe Biden. That's your guy. That's your guy, Joe Biden, not my guy, not my president. 81 million, I can't tell. I don't really think that I am prepared to believe that one, but that's what's happening. All right. And man, look, the supply chain shortage is a mess. It's a total big crazy mess. And I think that's gonna most certainly impact what's going on. That's certainly impacting what's going on with the strike and everything else. Until you can get the supply chain issue fixed, then this whole thing, the thing with the auto workers and the vehicles coming out at a certain time is not going to really be solved. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Hey, man, yeah, we got to get money to Ukraine. We got to focus on Ukraine and what they want rather than the United States. I guess that's more important, I suppose. All right, so let's see some other stuff here. This is a pretty interesting video that I have come across speaking about finances and everything else. Let's take a quick look at what's happening with some people that are talking about the economy not being what it should be. Talking about it's okay to steal because of how expensive things have become. Let's put it on the screen.
Why people steal groceries in this economy? It's because this costs $23.
Okay, now the caption says grocery prices in Canada, and what she has in her bag, this is a Caesar salad that's it appears like you have all the ingredients in the salad, but in the box or in the package. So you have the romaine lettuce, and then you have the croutons, some shredded Parmesan, and then something else. I can't see what that is right there, but it appears to be all in one. I've never seen it before in my life. That's interesting. And then this is like some kind of snack box with crackers and grapes and cheese. It's kind of like not really, it's kind of random food. And then it's like some lemons. Who shops like this? I don't think she's really buying this for groceries. I think she's just putting that in the cart to make an illustration.
This salad is $10. These 4 mozzarella balls are $5.
Mozzarella balls? Why would you buy that?
$16. And this little balanced snack, almost $9. $23 for that.
It's not that bad, honestly. I mean, I guess compared to yesteryear, but right now. But why would you buy a salad like broken apart like that? I don't understand.
Also, tell me why every one of these items individually is more expensive than ice cream.
Oh, come on. I hate this. Like, okay, can we go back here? Now, what you have in this box is actual, like, you have a lot of whole food. Except for, I don't know what this processed meat right here, I don't know what that is. Is that sausage or ham or what that is? But the grapes, your cheese is also kind of processed. This is kind of a processed thing, but it's more whole than that ice cream. Ice cream ain't nothing but sugar and water for the most part. And then these cheese balls, I mean, these are dumb snacks. And the salad. So I guess the argument here is, this is so-called healthy food, although that's kind of a debatable thing. And the ice cream is not healthy. I guess that's the argument.
These items individually is more expensive than ice cream.
Oh, pardon me. So the ice cream is sugar, water, and milk. Put it together, you got ice cream.
Than ice cream. $4.99 for ice cream, which is unhealthy and you shouldn't be promoting people to buy. But it's more expensive than all of these items individually.
So what you gonna do? You gonna put the ice cream in the cart and put everything else back and say, hey, you know what? It's cheaper, so I'm gonna just do that. And then she's showing, I don't know what that is. What is this? What is it? What is this box? Kraft cheese, Kraft dinner. What is that? I've never seen that before in my life. I don't eat a lot of box food. I mean, I'm bougie or whatever. I don't eat stuff like this. I don't even know what that is. What is that? But whatever it is $2.49. I have no idea what that is. Now, these look like the little goldfish snacks, but I don't think that's what that is. Dinner spirals? What is that?
$2.49.
Oh, is that macaroni and cheese for real? Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I mean, I like mac and cheese, but that right there looks disgusting.
Does anybody remember when Kraft dinner boxes were 50 cents a box? $2.50 a box now?
A Kraft dinner box? What is, like, is that some Canadian stuff, or is that in America? I've never seen that before I've never in my whole life, almost 40 years, have I ever seen that before in my life. I've seen mac and cheese, but I've seen people make it homemade. I never seen no box of, like, this little baby box of dinner spirals. What?
No, it's fucking absurd. That used to be like the ultimate poor man's meal.
Okie dokie. There you have it. So that's what's going on. I thought it was goldfish. I'm sorry, extra ill. I thought it was goldfish. I thought it was goldfish. I don't know. I don't really eat like that. When I go grocery shopping, what do I buy? I buy chicken thighs, salmon, like frozen wild caught Alaskan salmon. I try to get farm raised chicken thighs whenever I can. I get asparagus, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. But now my thing lately has been raw sushi from Fresh Market. Oh, that's my jam right now. That's my thing right now. Yes, indeed. I had it today. I had steamed some dumplings, and then I had raw sushi. It was nigiri, is that how it's pronounced? With some of the wasabi and some of the soy sauce. And then the ginger. That right there, it's a light meal, low in calories, filling. It's not gonna wreak havoc on my digestive tract, because if you're eating a bunch of processed food, that's gonna tear your stomach up. You're gonna be Taco Bell 3 o'clock in the morning. You're gonna be crying on the toilet. Meanwhile, I got a nice smooth meal, low in calories. It's good. It's expensive. Yes, it is expensive, but it's good food. You know, that's the thing. I'd rather eat something, and then I don't have to spend that much money on food. But if I'm gonna eat food, it's gonna be something like that. I tell you what, I'd rather go spend $15 on some sushi than to go to a restaurant and spend $25 on an entree that's way too salty, way too sugary, way too fat filled, and not as good of quality as I got with the sushi from the grocery store. You see what I'm saying? But that's just me. It's raw fish. Try it. If you've not tried it. You'll be all right. I tell you what though. If you raw sushi is better for you than a lot of this processed food you get from the store. You get food in the box. Them dinner spirals. I put, hold on. Can we go back to the dinner spirals for a second? The dinner spirals, I guarantee you, your raw sushi is 1,000 times better than dinner spirals, whatever that is. I've never in my life, I would not put that in my body. I'm not putting that in my body. Hold on. Matter of fact, speaking about food, I'm not quite sure if I showed it last time, but did you guys see that thing with the drink at what was that? Was that Dunkin' Donuts? This drink had so many calories and sugar. I might have showed it, but I got to show it one more time, then I move on. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, I did have Vienna sausages and stuff like that when I was younger, a little boy, like 8 years old. Yeah, but now I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to eat that. That's all. So watch this. If you've not seen it, great. If you have, that's great. But we're going to watch it one more time.
My friends, this is a pumpkin swirl frozen coffee. Who the thought it was a good idea to put this on the menu? Because this drink has 185 grams of sugar in here. How much is it? It's this much. It's 46 teaspoons of sugar. To give you another perspective, the amount of sugar in there is equal to 14 glazed donuts.
Okay, so that one drink had, 185 grams of sugar, as much as 14 glazed donuts. If you're eating stuff like this, I guarantee you your sushi, your raw sushi is 1,000 times better than this. It's cooked, all right. It's cooked. It's going to cook you too.
Plus, there's no pumpkin in here. It's artificial flavors. There's 12 mentions of sugar and high fructose corn syrup in here. There's 930 calories and 194 carbs. 2/3 of us are already type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. If America runs on this, we're
So yeah, that's that. Now, I mean, do not put that in your body. That drink right there, they say, hold on, 40 milligrams of cholesterol, 290 grams of sodium, 194 grams of carbohydrates, 71% of your daily value, no fiber, 334% of your daily value of sugar. I mean, 185 grams of sugar. 185. I mean, just take granulated sugar and drink it. Just pour it in your face. Drink it like that. The food that we consume in America, a lot of times, is really bad. Really, really, really bad. And that right there is a prime example. Now, also, one thing about it, what I eat sometimes can be expensive, but I also don't eat that much. I only eat one time a day. I eat 1 meal a day. So I'm a whole different, I don't eat 3 meals, and I'm not going to eat, like, for example, I'm not going to eat sushi and then also have breakfast and lunch and all that. Nah, I've had 1 meal today and I'm good. I eat a certain kind of way to where I don't have to really, I don't know, I got a different kind of diet. But anyway, yeah, my meal today, I had some nigiri and 2 steamed dumplings, and I'm good. Keep myself hydrated, and I'm straight. Shaquille Oatmeal says, black people don't do raw fish. That's a no-no. Well, hey, man, you know what? There's a lot of things they say that we shouldn't do, but I'm going to do it because that's how I am. I'm going to do what I want to do. Yeah. I started doing 1 meal a day back in the day, and then I started doing like 2 meals, but now I'm back down to 1 again. Yeah, I don't snack. No, I don't snack. My snack, it'd be water. It'd be water. Yep. That's what I do. If I do have a snack, which I don't, it'd be something like a handful of peanuts. Maybe I have like some pretzels, maybe. But I've not snacked today. All I had was my sushi and my dumplings. That's it. All right. People eat too much food. They eat like 3,000, 4,000 calories a day and then wonder why, people wonder why you fat and why you don't have enough energy because you bogging your system down with all this food and you got a bunch of excess weight on you. You're not even hungry and you're eating food. A lot of times you're thirsty, you think you're hungry, but I don't want to get too deep right now into a food conversation. So if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Now, shout out to all the retail employees. Have you ever had someone this mad at you in the retail store? Let's check it out. And then somebody says I'm a big guy, I need more nutrition. I've been this same size for a long time, eating 1 meal a day. I know how to eat very well. At this point, I could be a nutritionist. I've been doing this for a long time. I started eating 1 meal a day back in like 2009. This is old hat to me. I've been doing it for like 15 years. This is really kind of my lifestyle. People eat too much, and that be their problem. And this is why I was saying before, as I get to this video, I was saying before, America has an obesity problem. They have an obesity problem because I'm 6'3", 220, but I'm muscular. I'm kind of fit. So my clothing is all slim fit. All slim fit. Regular clothing, which means the clothing that someone of my height should wear, is all boxy. And the reason why is because they want me to have a beard belly. They want me to be fat. They want me to be big this way, but I'm really just tall. You see what I'm saying? So I got to get all slim fit stuff because, you know, the regular clothing is way too big. It's like a poncho on me. Like if I was to come outside wearing like my size suit, I wore a 42 long. If I was to wear a 42 long slim, if I wore a 42 long regular, it's like I got a jail. I'm about to get locked up. One of those suits that's real big and boxy and baggy. It would look ridiculous. I got to wear everything slim because the average American is fat. Facts. And the clothing is made for fat Americans. Not you guys. You guys are going to be beautiful, perfect shape. I'm talking about normies. You guys are not normies. You guys are perfect. I'm just saying. And the way I eat is represented by how I look. You know, I'll be looking the exact same way physically when I get to be old because I understand how to eat right now. But anyway, like I said, I could be a whole nutritionist because I got this down to a science. I know when I need certain food to energize myself. Now, for women, it's different because you guys got hormones to deal with. You can get hangry and your cycle get off balance. But anyway, let's keep on going. I could do a whole channel about food, how to eat, nutrition, all of that good stuff. All right. My only weakness is some of them cookies. You know, if I go to Buc-ee's or something like that and the cookies are right there, I might have to get some. That's my only weakness. Aside from that, I'm on point. And when I go out to eat, what I would do is look at the menu and see what entrees they have. You could get meals that have like grilled chicken in it or any kind of fish that's not fried. You know, don't get no fried catfish like you go into Captain D's fast food style. But anyway, I digress. Have you ever been in a retail situation and you seen somebody this mad at you? Now, my question is, what made my man get so mad? Check it out.
Oh my God.
Don't hit me! Touch me! Just hit me! Don't touch me! You hit me again! In front of me. Hit me again! Hit me again! I ain't hit you again! Hit me again! Sir, call the police right now. I'm requesting you. Are you?
Now, I don't know. I mean, look, at this point, I think you could cut the cord in a little bit more of a civil way. You don't got to go to the spot and then throw your stuff on the ground like that. You know, it's not that serious. You know, just get YouTube TV. No plug, no advertising, no sponsor. I'm just saying, okay, Pops, get with the times, my man. Get YouTube TV, get something on your phone and just stream stuff. Don't deal with this equipment, old school stuff from the 1990s. No more. Move forward. Okay, I've cut the cord years ago. As soon as it became possible to get YouTube TV, and even before that, as soon as I was able to get some things on the internets and I didn't need other things, like you get your sport games, as soon as that happened, I had no more need for this communication, this equipment right there. And in case you guys cannot see what's going on, we got this boomer coming into Spectrum, the company, and aggressively dropping his equipment off because I guess something was wrong and he had an issue and the employee was trying to stop him from coming in. He locked one door and then the guy came through the other door and then threw the equipment on the ground. There's a better way to cut the cord. Yeah, YouTube is TV, exactly. YouTube is TV, and you can have your phone. As long as you got your phone, then you're good money. All right. Yeah, I don't have Spectrum. Right, I don't have Spectrum. That's the provider of the cable. I guess they have cable services as well. What we have out here is called EPB. This is the utility company for your power and also for the internet. They're amazing. It's a story behind how they got founded. I think it's like a part government thing. But anyway, they are amazing. I get gigabit up and down speeds. 1 gigabit up, 1 gigabit down for like $70 a month. Okay. And my electricity bill is always pretty good. They're an amazing company. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know, that's part of the reason why I want to stay right where I'm at, because if I move away from here, then I'm going to lose EPB because they're only in this particular area of Tennessee. So, yeah, shout out to EPB. If you guys have Spectrum or some other kind of random stuff, I feel for you because you probably got outages and throttling and everything else. ATT Uverse, I can't do nothing with it. You have Cox for internet. I remember Cox Communications back in Virginia. Yeah, they were okay, just very expensive. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. I almost said lock because I was reading the comment right there. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And the comment was, why to lock the old man out? Because obviously he was upset. He was triggered. And he was getting a teensy bit violent. So they had to just lock him out to prevent him from being able to do what he did, which was get into the guy's face and try to start some kind of battle. They did not want that to happen. Now we have more here. There's so much more that I want to get to. All right. Where are we going to go next? Let's go to Russell Brand, shall we? I kind of want to jump there. Hold on. Before Russell Brand, I want to show Tyler Perry right quick. Now, you guys know about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, famous for the Medea movies, where he puts on a dress and behaves as a woman. I'm not trying to attack Tyler Perry. I'm just saying where you may know him from. Tyler Perry is a billionaire or close to it, a mogul in the movie and television, the film industry, big screen and small screen. He was in negotiations to buy BET, but it fell through. I guess they didn't want to sell it at a certain point, but he was prepared to offer like $2 billion and change, but that fell through. Anyway, Tyler Perry is a rich guy, has a lot of money, a lot of influence, a lot of power. And he was on a podcast recently talking about the gender pay gap. Now, the gender pay gap is not really a real thing. It exists, but it's not a thing that needs to be legislated out of existence. It's a thing purely because of choices. Really? Okay, what kind of job do you want to do? How hard do you want to work? Do you want to sacrifice your life to this? You know, a lot of women, they try to tell me, don't work as hard, take time off. That's their mentality. Not all, but many. But I go hard. They don't go as hard. Therefore, I make more money than them. It's as simple as that. It's not a thing where it's like discrimination or some kind of civil rights issue. It's a matter of choices. If you want to make what the next person makes, take the steps, make the moves to make that happen. Get an education, get a skill, work hard, make the money. Sacrifice. Do you want to work 80, 100 hours a week? Or do you want to just go to a job and work regular? Whatever you want to do, I'm not trying to attack anybody for it. But at the end of the day, it's a choice. Whatever you want to do, however you want to live your life, whatever you prioritize, that is your decision. It's not a matter of somebody on the outside to legislate fairness. Ain't no such thing. If you legislate fairness, that is inherently unfair, you see? So you can't do it. Now, let's check it out. This is Tyler Perry on the podcast. Now, if you're asking me, hey, ABL, why is Tyler Perry sitting on the couch with pillows all over him on top of his lap and everything else? Hey, man, don't ask me. I'm just here showing the videos. I don't know. All right, let's check it out.
Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in, because that means, no, I need somebody to, who is, they need to make 5 times more, and I got to have, well, go on, keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Go on, keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing.
Okay, so you heard that. He's like, hey, you know what? If you're a woman and you make more than a man, it's not really a big deal. You can make it work. And he's saying that black women especially, and black women make more than the men. They're making more than the men typically. It's just not true. No race group of women make more than their respective let me say that one more time. No race group of women, whether it be black, white, Asian, Hispanic, make more than their male counterparts of the same race. You understand? Black women do not make more than black men. White women don't make more than white men, et cetera, so on and so forth. It's just not true. So when he says stuff like that, it's just not true. And again, it's all about choices. It's it. It's all about choices. All right. And the gap is pretty tight among all races. Okay, so the highest gap, I guess you would say, from male to female in the same race is Asian. The lowest is black, but all the gaps are between 80 and 90%. And let me explain what that means. Asian women make about 80% of what their men make. Black women make about 90% of what black men make. But ultimately, it's all a gap, and women are always lower because of choices. Men will sacrifice, will go hard and do more. And also, let's not forget, women a lot of times are raising kids, so they'll focus on the child rearing more than the money making. But they still going to go out there and make money. 70% of all moms work. So that's just what it is. So Tyler Perry, I don't know what he's talking about. It's just not the reality. People got to just focus on what's real and not what's fake anymore, because that's, ain't nobody got time for fake stuff. All right. Yeah, the Asians, ain't no clubs going. The Asians, listen, they're going hard. And the Asians, that includes like your Chinese, Japanese, Korean, but it also includes your Indian subcontinent, and it includes your Southeast Asia. So everybody from Singapore to Bangladesh to Japan, all of them, that's Asian. And they go super hard with the education, and they go hard with the money, and they focus on their family. This is a cultural dynamic that I think should be duplicated if you want to have success. Very simple. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Stranded Lifeform asked me, if the woman is a lawyer and the man is a warehouse worker, who makes more? I mean, I don't know. You would think that it would be the lawyer, but I don't know. And then what are we talking? Are we talking about just income? Or are we talking about like the actual expenses? Because, okay, if I'm a lawyer, but I got $200,000 in student loan debt that I cannot discharge even in bankruptcy, and I'm a warehouse worker and I've been there for a long time, and I'm an operator, I can operate heavy equipment and I have no debt. When you're looking at my debt to income ratio versus your debt to income ratio, who's better? I don't really know. That's the way I would look at it. I would look at how much money am I spending? How much money must I spend every month versus how much I make? That'd be my question. Just like me, I mean, I keep my expenses as low as possible. Where you could have a guy that might make more money than me, but he's in essence, quote unquote, broker than I am because he has a higher cost of living, unnecessarily high, and things he can't really get rid of. He has crazy debt, like a consumer debt, buying all kind of crazy cars, a really big house with all kind of maintenance. If you're living in a mansion that has 2 acres and you got to maintain it, like I don't have all that. I have a lower cost of living. So in the down period, I'll be okay. But that's just money. That's just how that works regardless. Now let's keep on going. Let's keep on moving. We got a lot more to get through here. Russell Brand. Now Russell Brand, he is very well known for going against the grain, saying things that could get him in trouble, speaking about certain social issues, the vaccine, and things of that nature, talking about some of the unwritten rules you shouldn't break in Hollywood, some things that people don't want you to know. Now, what happened here with Russell Brand is that a newspaper did a collaborative effort with other newspapers to investigate his investigate allegations against him. Now, this is like a police inquiry, but it was not the police. It wasn't any kind of law enforcement. It was the news media. They literally went on a fact-finding mission, an investigation to find women who say they had been assaulted by Russell Brand. So what they came back with was 4 women who have come out and said Russell Brand assaulted them. Sexual assault allegations from, I'm not sure how long ago. There's an article about this. See if I can pull it up right quick. Now, my thing when I saw that, and before I continue, I don't know if the allegations are true, if they're false. I have no way of knowing. But obviously, the first thing I thought about was Brett Kavanaugh. Remember that? I mean, they went above and beyond what I thought they would ever do. What they did was bring out this woman who had no evidence. She just said, Brett Kavanaugh, when he was 18 years old, he assaulted me at a party. He was getting drunk, all this, that, and the third. The media ran with it. They behaved like she was telling the 100% truth and it couldn't be any other way. They didn't do what I did. What I'm saying is I don't know if it's true or false. What they did is said that it is true. They ran with it. They put her on the cover of Time magazine, Christine Blasey Ford. Brett Kavanaugh had to have an entire group of women, like 60 women, come out on camera, on television to defend him. Then they had to bring up his calendars, which was like a diary for an alibi. They did all of that just to defend Brett Kavanaugh against this woman. She got a big bag of money, became famous. Her name now lives in infamy, and she has vanished without a trace. So as soon as I saw Russell Brand, I'm like, okay, Brett Kavanaugh 2.0? Because what are the odds? And it's unfortunate I thought that, because sometimes there are things that happen and people should be believed. But when there's so many hoaxes, so many fake things going on, at what point do you believe certain things? At what point do you not doubt certain things? We've seen so many fake things are ridiculous. We saw a fake kidnapping, fake hate crime. What was the more recent one? The fake brick attack. We've seen many fake assault allegations. E. Jean Carroll, the media are talking about Trump got convicted of assaulting her. Is that what happened? Last I checked, sexual assault was not a civil penalty. That's what I thought. I thought if you got convicted of doing something like that, you would go to the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. He got found liable. Like, what does that even mean? How do you get found liable of assaulting someone? The dumbest thing in the world. We all know what's bogus, so I figured it'd be the same thing, Russell Brand. Now, let me pull up the article right quick. Then we're going to get to the video of him responding to it. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, so can I scroll it or nah? I guess not. They want me to log in. I refuse to log in, Times UK. I am not going to log into your podunk weird website. Hold on one second. All right. Matter of fact, I don't have to do that anyways. I can just show you when I need to show you this way. All right. So let's check it out. So here is a headline, and I can't really zoom in too much anymore because they won't let me scroll. Anyway, Russell Brand accused of RAPE, sexual assault and abuse. And then it says 4 women, including one who was just 16, make allegations after an investigation by the Sunday Times, The Times, and Channel 4 dispatches. Again, this was not a law enforcement investigation. This was news outlets coming together and saying, hey, let's see if anyone wants to say that Russell Brand assaulted them. All right. And then check it out. Hold on. All right. Watch this. And they use that picture for the headline. It's like, really? So we're going to make him look as menacing as possible. All right. We got the black and white going on. We then made it with 2 colors, the one black and white, then the red, making him look like Charles Manson. Or what's the other guy named? The guy that was eating people. What's his name? I know what I'm talking. Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, talk about trying to make somebody look to be a certain way. And then you're going to hear him actually respond. Now, this right here makes me think that he's probably telling the truth, because if you get accused of this kind of thing, assaulting women and underage girls, you probably want to be quiet. Your lawyer is saying, hey, be quiet, don't say a word, because whatever you say can and will be used against you in court of law. So don't say a word, don't incriminate yourself, just let the lawyers handle it. But Russell Brand said, nope, we're not going to do that. I'm going to speak out and defend myself. Now, let's go ahead and roll this. And of course, I'm going to pause it at certain points, but you know it is on X, formerly known as Twitter, right on Russell Brand's official page. Let's check it out.
Hello there, you awakening wonders. Now, this isn't the usual type of video we make on this channel where we critique, attack, and undermine the news in all its corruption, because in this story, I am the news. I've received 2 extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff, like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies.
So they're saying, and part in the freeze frame, that's also Brand. So they're writing him letters talking about you shouldn't be able to talk about certain issues because of these allegations. So why is that the letter that he gets? If the focus is on the so-called victims, why would he get a letter about him not writing or talking about certain things that relates to the mainstream media, things of that nature? Why would that be what he gets? You see?
In the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent. And I'm being transparent about it now as well. And to see that transparency metastasized into something criminal that I absolutely deny makes me question, is there another agenda at play? Particularly when we've seen coordinated media attacks before, like with Joe Rogan when he dared to take a medicine that the mainstream media didn't approve of. And we saw a spate of headlines from media outlets across the world using the same language. I'm aware that you guys have been saying in the comments for a while, watch out, Russell, they're coming for you, you're getting too close to the truth. Russell Brand did not kill himself. I know that a year ago there was a spate of articles, Russell Brand's a conspiracy theorist, Russell Brand's right wing. I'm aware of news media making phone calls, sending letters to people I know for ages and ages. It's been clear to me, or at least it feels to me, like there's a serious and concerted agenda to control these kind of spaces and these kind of voices. And I mean my voice along with your voice. I don't mind them using my books and my stand-up to talk about my promiscuous consensual conduct in the past. What I seriously refute are these very, very serious criminal allegations. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these 2 mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack.
Now, there is a lot here. There's so much here. I think what he's saying is most likely the truth, because again, if you're being accused of something like this, something very serious, allegations with multiple women, your lawyer's going to say, hey, man, don't say a word. Shut up. Let me handle it. But he's talking a lot right here. And this video came out immediately. As soon as I saw the allegations against someone in the article, this video was already out. So right away, he went straight to the camera and spoke. Very quick, immediate reaction. And I think that if anybody is being accused of a thing like this and they didn't do it, or they say they didn't do it, then your first reaction should be to do something like this. It could be legally risky, but if you do it, I think that it makes you look better in the eyes of the public because you appear to be honest. Why would you come out and say something like this if you're not honest? Because if you are lying, this will be brought up in court, that they're going to play that video in court like how I'm playing it, and they're going to break it down and say, well, didn't you say this right here and that right there and all this and that? They would throw him up under the penitentiary if what he was saying here is false. So that's that.
Now, I don't want to get into this any further because of the serious nature of the allegations.
So he's not going to get into the specifics. Like, you know, there are certain allegations, very specific allegations. He won't get into the specifics of that. He wants to stop it right there because now we're getting into the legal stuff. But to say this is a lot. To say what he has said so far in the video is enough, in my opinion.
But I feel like I'm being attacked, and plainly they are working very closely together. We are obviously going to look into this matter because it's very, very serious. In the meantime, I want you to stay close, stay awake, but more important than any of that, if you can, please stay free.
So there you have it, Russell Brand. So what do you guys think? Do you think that the allegations are true? Allegations are false? I mean, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say that I do know whether the allegations are true or false, but I don't think that they are. I could be wrong, but I don't think that allegations are true. But again, I don't know for 100% certain. If you were to ask me, put a gun in my head and say, hey, ABL, what do you think? What's your opinion about what's going on? That's my opinion. And this is a thing that happens to so many people all over the place. Like once you get into the public eye and you do a thing that they, whoever they may be, don't like, or you just getting in the way, here comes the allegations. We see it all the time. Sometimes the allegations are true, but I've never really seen somebody be in a situation where they're talking about really important, impactful things that can impact society, things that people don't want you to talk about, who get accused of certain things and then it winds up being true. I've never really seen that. I mean, Trump is a prime example. I don't really want to compare Russell Brand, an entertainer, to Donald Trump, former president, but it's the same principle that applies. Okay, Trump wants to do right by the nation, and what happens? You getting indicted on ticky-tack stuff. Hush money to Stormy Daniels, trying to see if the election was fraudulent or not, using legal methods. You getting lawyers jammed up in the RICO case. How are you going to jam up a lawyer for giving legal advice? You can have the opinion that the legal advice was bad. That doesn't mean that it's criminal, but that's what's happening right now. That is what's happening. So we're going to see. And I hope that this trend stops at a certain point. When somebody is getting too close to the truth, it doesn't matter who they are, here come the allegations. And then again, normally if you are caught up in this, the lawyer would say, don't talk. That's the way to shut you up right there. If they can't get you to stop talking voluntarily, they make you shut up. But hey, it is what it is. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, let's do a little bit of a shift here. Let's talk about Portland, Oregon. Shout out to all you left coasters out there in Free Atoll, Portland, Oregon, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland, Bay Area, wherever you are. Shout out to you. California is beautiful in certain spots. I would go as far as to say the majority of the state, area-wise, is beautiful. But in the population centers, in the cities, it is disgusting. Oakland, California, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Not in the first world country. I mean, if you're talking about a slum somewhere in Africa, India, somewhere like that, okay. But United States, I mean, it's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. I've seen poverty over here on the East, but on the West, they just allow stuff to happen that should not be going on. The camping is the first. When you allow the camping, then you're going to get the drugs. Look, if you have just rows and rows of camps and dirt and just gross everywhere, that's drugs. It's not just homeless. It's drugs. If you're homeless, you're not going to live in a patch of filth. Just because you don't have a place to live does not mean you're going to be living in squalor. Okay? Poverty does not equal squalor. That is it's a stereotype. Like, okay, I've seen trailer homes, single wides, double wides that are beautiful on the inside. That's not uncommon. Just because you live in a trailer does not mean it's going to be looking ridiculous and run down and ramshackle on the inside. That doesn't mean that. You may not have a lot of money, but it doesn't cost money to live nicely. You may not have a place to live, but just because you're poor or homeless does not mean you're going to be living in squalor. If you are hooked on drugs, however, squalor is your natural habitat. Why do you care about cleanliness when you smoke crack for a living? Why do you care about having a clean place to rest your head? You don't care about that. But anyway, shout out to all you guys on the left coast. The poverty, the squalor is ridiculous. And a lot of what you see, a lot of the criminality, a lot of the camping, a lot of the drugs is because of policy. What's the point in having, how can I say this? If you have drugs that are just allowed to happen, nobody's getting sent to jail for using drugs, selling drugs, and it is everywhere, and nobody gets cited for the camps, how are you going to clean it up? If there's no arrest or penalty for the shoplifting, why would a retail store continue to be there? Nike is headquartered in Beaverton, Oregon, which is right there by Portland. Their very first factory store was in Portland, 1984. They were in the same location until 2000, where they still were in Portland, but moved from one spot to the other, not far from each other. Over the years, they gave $1 million to the community because that was the whole thing, right? They were saying, hey, Nike, can you please put a store right here in this impoverished area, bring a tax base to the community and give money? They said, sure, why not? Almost 40 years of being in the community, now they're gone. Now, let's go ahead and play some of this. You're going to see the same thing happen all over the left coast because of the policy that enables the drugs, the homelessness, the criminality, the violence. All these policies are going to make retail locations leave. And not just retail, but also workplaces. They're going to leave. Why stay in a place where you are not truly welcome? Not truly. You can't be welcome if you request off-duty police and your request gets denied. You offer to pay for the off-duty police, but you still get denied by the mayor. You're not welcome in the place where that happens.
Yeah, in a statement.
All right, let's go ahead and play this right quick. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to play this one. This is probably going to be the best one for you right here. This is from 10 months ago, and they said the store been closed for weeks. Now, when the store first closed, it was earlier in the year, and there was a notice on the website. It says, we're closed for 7 days. That became weeks, then it became months, then they closed permanently. And at a certain point, they were talking to the mayor, trying to figure out a way to reopen. And that's when a letter came about when they said, hey, we need some off-duty officers. We'll pay for it. It's no problem. The mayor, Ted Wheeler, said, nope, we're not going to do that. And so they had to close. So all that money from the community investment, all that money from the tax revenue, from the tax base is gone now. It's gone now. So the community that was in squalor before Nike store came will return right back to it. It'll return right back to it. And if you have money, you're going to go to the outskirts and abandon the city. Portland will be the next Detroit. Not even as good as Detroit, because what's your industry? But I digress. Let's watch this.
The Nike community store is a fixture in Northeast Portland. The retail giant stands tall among other storefronts along a busy stretch of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Look inside and you'll find racks of neatly folded Nike gear and rows of shoes, but no customers. The Nike store has been closed for more than a month, and the company won't say why. On its website, Nike said the store will be closed for the next 7 days, a message that's been repeated for weeks. Despite the notice posted online, customers show up almost every day.
Usually stores let you know what's going on because customers want to know. But nothing on the door kind of leaves it suspicious.
Especially when you're paying $5 for gas and then it's like, thanks.
The Nike community store has always had an issue with theft, explain several people associated with the store. Although recently, shoplifting has risen to new levels. Criminals have become more brazen, stealing armloads of Nike merchandise and walking out the front door with no fear of being arrested. Security guards contracted by Nike admit they're forbidden from physically stopping shoplifters.
So what do? If the security guards can't stop shoplifting, if they call the police and the police are not able to do anything, no prosecution, then what do? If the Nike store itself is saying, hey, can we get some off-duty police to be here, and their request gets denied, what are you to do? Just allow yourself to lose money, to not make any money? If the purpose of the store was to bring in revenue, a tax base, and donate to the community, how are they going to do that if they keep getting looted every day? It makes no sense. I would go ahead and close. I don't see how any retail spot can thrive in a place like Portland, Seattle, San Fran, Oakland, Los Angeles, etc. I don't see how they can thrive.
It's too risky.
It's obvious that they've stolen something and they're looking to unload it somewhere.
Pastor Paul Greenidge of New Song Community Church has seen people flee the nearby Nike store with stolen shoes and clothing. I mean, you've been here a long time.
30-some years.
30-some years.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything like this?
It's unprecedented. Nothing like this.
KGW's analysis of Portland crime data found since 2019, the Nike community store has reported 437 shoplifting cases to police. Citywide, that's second only to the Mall 205 target. Police, prosecutors, and retailers complain shoplifting, or organized retail crime, is a citywide epidemic, largely fueled by drug addiction. Over the past 4 months, several businesses have closed their doors because of crime and security concerns, including
that Cracker Barrel. Why is a Cracker Barrel closing? Like, okay, in my video, I always say maybe because of the drug use, maybe they want to go in the bathroom and get loaded. But explain to me this: why would a Cracker Barrel close because of crime? That's crazy. If not for the bathroom becoming a crackhead hut, what is the reason? What are you going to steal in Cracker Barrel? You're going to steal some of them little homemade pieces of jewelry. You're going to steal one of them little plates that go in your kitchen. This is my house. I'll do as I darn well please. What are you stealing from Cracker Barrel?
a Cracker Barrel, Stanford's, and a couple Starbucks locations.
Oh, is Dine and Dash? Is that what they're doing? So they're going into the Cracker Barrel and getting them buttermilk pancakes and sausage, and then rather than paying the $15 for the ticket, they're leaving? That's crazy.
The Nike store is especially noteworthy because of its history.
The credit goes to the black community.
Ron Herndon, along with the Black United Front, approached Nike 38 years ago and urged the company to build its first ever factory store on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, then called Union Avenue, an area once plagued by crime and violence.
Many credit development that began to occur on MLK to Nike's commitment.
When the Nike Portland factory store opened in 1984, it pledged to donate a portion of the store's profits to community-based nonprofits.
1984. I was born in 84. You say I got this gray hair and stuff like that. I'll be 40 next year. 1984, they opened the store and they closed right now in 2023. Nike's headquarters is right there in Beaverton, right in the Portland metro area. They're headquartered right there. And they closed the store down because of the current policies of the city. It's the policies, point blank, period.
Those who shop here and buy here, spend money here, will have a part of that profit returned back to the community.
I have been to Cracker Barrel before. I know Cracker Barrel very well. I never said I've been to Cracker Barrel. I was saying, what are you going to steal from a Cracker Barrel? I know they got a store when you go into the front before you get to the dining hall. I know they got all kind of little chintzy jewelry and stuff like that. But what do you're going to steal some of them little individually wrapped chocolate candies? You're going to steal some beaded necklaces? You're going to steal some home decor? Are you going to steal them little curtains that go over your window in the front that your grandma got? Are you going to steal that at Cracker Barrel? I mean, how much does that stuff cost? Are you going to sell that on the street? How are you going to sell anything from a Cracker Barrel on the street? Hey, you know what? I have a pair of maracas from Cracker Barrel. You want to buy these for 25 cents? I mean, come on. The Dine and Dash comment makes sense. You go in there, get your buttermilk pancake, sausage with the maple syrup on top, and your hash brown. You eat that, and then go about your business. That makes sense. Your orange juice and the little teeny little cups they got, and the dishes that's halfway washed. Scarf that down and go about your business, but I digress.
Since then, the Nike store has donated more than $1 million to the North and Northeast Portland community. In 2000, it moved to a new building after outgrowing the Nike store's original location.
It's not just me. So many people in the community are proud of it.
But the ongoing issues with theft has raised concerns about the store's future.
What's occurring with Nike is very symptomatic of what's happening with people and organizations and businesses all over Portland.
Herndon believes a lack of police resources and prosecution has allowed criminals to tear at the fabric of this community.
Criminals don't care. Criminals do not care about history.
Nike built this community store nearly 40 years ago to increase its involvement in the community and help build up a troubled stretch of the city. Now, Herndon argues it needs support, fending off shoplifters and crime.
Until the city comes up with an answer to this, I don't see it going away. I don't.
My man has on Jordan paraphernalia robbing from the Nike store. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. But yeah, that's what's going on right now in Portland and on the left coast in general. They got all kind of crime and violence happening. And again, until you stop the issue with until you get the policies of the particular area fixed, you're going to have that same thing keep on. It's not going to stop ever. Until the policy gets fixed, you're not going to have that problem go away. Okay? And they also said Starbucks was having to close because of the crime. Now, what are you going to steal from Starbucks? Are you going to go get one of them 100 gram of sugar lattes, scarf that down, and then leave? But can you even do that? Because last I checked, if you buy something from Starbucks, you go on the line, you order what you want, you pay right there, and then when it's done, they bring it to the front. You got to pay first, right? So when you go into Starbucks, they got like a little wall of some cups and mugs and random stuff. How are you really going to steal from a Starbucks? What they're probably doing is getting loaded in the bathroom. Remember that whole thing with the Starbucks in Philadelphia where the guys were told to leave because they weren't buying anything. They were just kind of hanging out in there. And it was a whole issue with the bathroom. And then it became, okay, you can't keep the bathroom, so you got to let everybody go in there. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to get these dope fiends to go in there, get loaded, take a shower, at best a bird bath, because there ain't no shower in there. They're going to put whatever kind of stuff they want in the sink, clog it up, all kind of hair and everything else, needles, all of that. And you're going to have little Crystal and Caitlin, 16 years old, working a high school job, going into a hazmat situation to clean it up. Okay, they don't have any kind of hazmat materials to go in there and clean that bathroom up. Remember that? I think that's what's happening. Rather than dealing with the bathroom issue, getting destroyed every day by these heroin addicts, fentanyl, the fentanyl ferrets, rather than that happening, they close the whole Starbucks down. And I think that's what's going on with also your Cracker Barrel, in my humble opinion. But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not really a Starbucks guy because it's too much. I'm not really a sugar drink guy. I like water. I like water or tea or something like that. I'm not really into the sugary drinks. All right. You probably be better off drinking alcohol than your sugar. But I'm not advocating for either, so don't get it twisted. Okay, be like me. Drink your water, stay hydrated, do it that way. All right. But anyway, we got more going on. Now, New York City protesting the illegal aliens or the asylum seekers and migrants. 110,000 of them have flooded into the city. But again, 6.4 million are coming to the country. So 110,000, it ain't that many. But if in New York City, you don't have anywhere for them to go. Like, where are they going to go? How are they going to get housed anywhere? And your constituents are pretty much being ignored by the politicians because trying to help them out, I guess, is more important. Now, let me find that particular video right quick. This was crazy, totally crazy, and we're going to get through it. All right. Let me do it this way. Hold on. All right, we got that up and that up. There we go. Now, this was crazy because they were trying their best. They were trying their best to get through this little press conference, but the people, their constituents, were refusing to do it. And it was crazy to see the contrast because it's like, hey, all right, I'm your constituent. I live in New York City. I live in New York. You represent me. You are my congressman, my congresswoman, my senator or whatever, the mayor. I'm who you represent. I am contributing to the tax base. I am who you should be worried about. Your focus should not be on these so-called migrants or on Ukraine or other countries. It should be right here with New York City residents. I'm speaking to you and you're totally ignoring me. Let's check it out.
Woman Cortez is speaking now. She's angry at the mayor of New York, says he's not showing leadership on the illegal immigrants flowing into the city. Watch.
Now, I don't know what she wants Eric Adams to do. I mean, all that he can do is send them back. And I'm not sure how he's going to be able to do that. What should happen, obviously, is that you cut off the southern border. Once you just cut the source of the flood, then the flood can stop. If you have a house that's being flooded and you can identify the source of the flood, and if you just cut the source of the flood like a faucet, if the faucet is overrunning, the sink is overflowing, and as a result, the entire house, all the rooms are being flooded, to stop it, you just go to the source, turn the water off, and the flood stops. That's it. They don't want to they don't want to turn the source off. They want to find ways to mop it up, which is dumb because you're just going to get more because the source hasn't stopped. So what is he going to do aside from advocate for the source to be cut? You don't want to cut it. He don't want to cut it. And that's the problem. So what you have right here is AOC. I'm not sure what his name is. You guys know what that is. And behind her is Jamal Bowman. And I'm not sure who these characters are either. Y'all let me know in the comments.
And that we are joining with the city and state administration.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here with Congresswoman Alexandria-Ocasio Cortez and members of our delegation as well as other members from other states that are here to see for themselves what the migration dynamic is in our nation. And what we saw there with children, families, people that want to work, people that are fleeing violence, people that are fleeing environmental disasters. We see so many stories, heartbreaking stories, manifest itself here. But I think these are folks that will take New York City to a better place.
Now, they're trying to get their talking points off about how the migrants are great, all this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, their constituents are behind them, just not trying to hear any of it. They're actively protesting, and they're totally being ignored. Totally being ignored. Now, if I was living in New York City, I'd be the same way. And I'd be highly offended that my needs are being ignored for these migrants who have no stake in this country. They have no right to be in this country. If you want to come here, go through the proper channels, the legal channels. Don't try to go through the back door and all this and that. Oh, I'm an asylum seeker. Okay, you came from Ghana, West Africa. How are you coming across the Atlantic Ocean to the U.S. saying I need asylum? Asylum from what? Asylum from your next vacation?
Every crisis presents great opportunity. There's hope and opportunity in this building. So I wanted to thank all my colleagues for coming. As you can see, this is a contentious issue, but we are all Americans, and we all believe in the American dream. That's the common denominator here.
Close the border. Do you hear your constituents? Close the border. Listen to them. They have the solution. You're refusing to listen, and that's the problem.
The American dream. We believe in it, and we will fight for it. With that?
Yes, and ultimately, I think that there are 3 points of consensus here that are very important in getting a solution to this issue.
Look, your constituents don't want to hear 3 points of consensus. They don't want to hear this prepared talking point. They don't want to hear you just remember a thing and then spout it out. They're not trying to listen. Now, that's going on. You can see they're being shouted down. I'm going to skip forward a little bit here.
An extension. They already have TPS. Work permits for people that just want to work for their families.
Work permits? Work permits? Like, isn't there an issue with jobs in this country? Isn't there a problem with people trying to they can't find the appropriate work is going to be able to pay bills all the time? Like, jobs? What are we talking about? Again, focus on your people that live in the city, legal residents of New York City, not these migrants trying to claim asylum. And here's your man, Nadler.
Right here in New York City, they are ready for close the border, and anti-illegal immigration is their stance. And some of the words got pretty colorful, and they were drowning out the Congresswoman and other Democrats who were there.
That's right, Harris. Now, let's go to your man, Nadler.
That is why I support additional funding for the shelter services and program in the supplemental budget to give additional resources to New York and other cities welcoming migrants. Unfortunately, House Republicans seem set on defunding the Department of Homeland Security and shutting down our government. I also led a letter with Immigration Subcommittee Ranking Member Jayapal and over 100 of our colleagues to urge the administration to use all the tools available to them to provide stability to asylum seekers and undocumented immigrants in our communities. The administration has the flexibility to provide faster access to employment authorization documents and to protect families by redesignating Venezuela for temporary protected status.
I mean, what's the point of reading? What is the purpose in reading? Like, at a certain point, you got to understand that they don't want to hear it. You're just there for no reason. You might as well just leave. Might as well leave. And I think eventually they did leave because there's literally no point. And by the way, a little bit of context. They are outside of the Roosevelt Hotel right there in Manhattan, not too far from Times Square, if I'm not mistaken. And there were also people that were there protesting against them. So you have the migrants who are right there at the Roosevelt Hotel. They took the hotel over, pretty much tore it down to the ground because you got these third world habits in this beautiful establishment, iconic establishment, tore it down in a matter of months. You have residents of the city, lawful residents who were there. All three factions, the politicos, the migrants, and the lawful residents, all there, and it was a mess. And I don't know how they thought that it would be anything else other than that. You announce this particular press conference at the Roosevelt Hotel with the migrants there. If I was in New York City, I would most certainly show up and be there because I'm like, yo, what's going on? But see, this is part of the reason why I don't live in New York City. There's no migrant crisis where I live. It's not going to happen. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small city. It ain't gonna happen. But let me put up this classic. Hold on. Remember this? Speaking about Nadler, remember this? It kind of came to my mind. Watch this.
Executive privilege must be asserted by the president personally, and as the Nixon case in front of the Supreme Court, which was decided 9-0, pointed out.
Did you hear that? Somebody was in the background. A bunch of losers. You could lose again, Nadler. So yeah, New Yorkers have had an issue with Jerry Nadler for a while, and I don't blame them. I'm not a fan of Nadler either. Looking like an egg in the cup. But anyway, I digress. I don't want to be mean, so I'm not going to do that no more. But let's keep on going here. Now, you saw Nadler, you saw AOC, all of them getting shouted down, protested. Now, let's watch what my man was saying, or what the crowd was saying. You saw that perspective of Nadler, AOC, Jamal Bowman, etc., speaking in front of the Manhattan, the Roosevelt in Manhattan. Now you're going to hear from, you're going to see the perspective of the protesters, of the constituents, the New York City residents. All right, RIP headphone users.
Nadler, you just want people here to vote. You want people here to vote. The hell's wrong with this America? This is the United States of America. Yeah, that's what is this? What is this here then? Yeah, variants for who? For who? For us? For the United States? No, you come down. You're complicit in destroying our city. You come down, you oath breaker. You gotta go to sleep at night.
So my man is really upset, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Shout out to him for making the stand. And the sign behind him says, Americans first, vetted and legal migrants only. And I would just say, how about come here the right way, immigrate the right way, legally. Migrants, I don't know, but Americans first. I agree with that.
Hey, mother. Come here. It's all I got you.
With that? Yes, and ultimately I think that there are 3 points of consensus here that are very important in getting a solution to this issue. The first is that there is consensus here across geography and states on increased federal resources to cities and municipalities dealing with this issue. The second is to allow for work authorizations so that the folks in here can get to work and start supporting themselves as soon as possible. They are prevented from getting jobs, they are prevented from employment, and that is part of the strain on our public systems. The faster that folks can access the work that they're asking for legally, the better we can solve this problem. And the third is extension of temporary protected status for Venezuelans, who are the largest population that are arriving here. So with that, we thank you all.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so that's that. I mean, boy, oh boy. Yeah, they probably won't do that kind of press conference anymore. I don't think that they should. I don't really see the benefit. I don't really see the purpose, because they're not going to be able to get too many words out. All right, they're going to get shouted down. And they should get shouted down every single time. They should get shouted down every single time that they show up. All right, now, let's talk about Lauren Boebert, however you pronounce her name. Now, this is ridiculous. Okay, let's talk about what's going on. She was kicked out of a Beetlejuice musical, I believe, in Colorado. Now, this is like a play, I suppose, musical. She was kicked out. Now, as she's getting kicked out, she says, "Do you know who I am? And I will contact the mayor." Flexing like, I'm Lauren Boebert, I'm in government, what you gonna do, blah, blah, blah. Her and her male companion were kicked out. It was not her husband. Yes, she's married. She's going through a divorce, but she is married. That matters. You can't just say, oh, no, she's divorced. No, she's not. She is married. And until legally you're not married anymore, you're married. People can say, oh, well, it's over with. So what? You're still married. Somebody could say that it's over with, be married, and if not, file for divorce. They are still married. Okay? A little bit of advice to anybody, especially men. Women, different story, but women too. But for the men especially, do not get caught out there before your divorce is final. Don't do it. You're asking for too many problems. Don't do it. Get it finalized and then move forward. I promise it's not worth it, because now what's going to happen when it comes to re-election? She's toast. She barely won the last time. Next time, it's a wrap. What are they going to say? You were married, you got 4 kids, you were in Beetlejuice, acting the fool, vaping, recording, singing loud, and doing inappropriate things with each other, Pee Wee Herman status. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this. Pee Wee Herman, can we go back to Pee Wee Herman right quick now? Because it's a valid comparison. Pee Wee Herman. Let's bring up an image of Pee Wee Herman. Nothing inappropriate. Just some of you guys are pretty young. You may not remember Pee Wee Herman, but he was like really the guy back then. Pee Wee Herman was great. Now, what he did later in his life is a different story. We'll put it over there. Before the movie theater, before the later allegations, Pee Wee Herman was the man. He was the man. You're confused, J-Man. We're going to make it all make sense. Just hang tight. I promise. Let me just build it up for you. And RIP to Paul Reubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman. Let's get an image of him right quick. Pee Wee Herman was the man. He starred in movies, and I think he had his own show, like on TV. He was really cringe and corny, but it was great. Great comedy, lighthearted. He was the guy. The suit and all of that, iconic. Now, what happened with Pee Wee Herman is that he got caught in an adult theater. So this theater, they show X-rated movies, okay? I don't think anybody was in there with him, or it was very few. I believe he was by himself, or it was almost empty. He gets caught in there touching himself inappropriately. That pretty much ended his career, and he got arrested. A mugshot and everything from that incident. Now, that was actually better than what Lauren Boebert did, because number one, Pee Wee Herman was not an elected official. He's just an entertainer on television and movies, a comedian kind of guy, and he was in an adult theater, all right, where they show these kind of X-rated movies. I don't think there was any kids around, no children around. I believe he was only in the thing, but now he did pull it out. He did, crank it up. He sure did. But again, the context is the context. He was arrested and the career pretty much toast. Now, Lauren Boebert, what did she do? Now, Lauren Boebert went to a Beetlejuice musical in a packed theater. Okay. First, it was vaping. She was in there vaping. There was somebody pregnant, like right next to her. And then the lady was like, can you please stop it? She didn't do it. That was the first thing. Then she had her phone out taking videos of the actual performance. Can't do that. Then she was singing and being loud. At certain points, she was standing up, clapping, just making the scene. 36 years old, got 4 kids, had been married for like 18 years. Then video comes out of her being fondled by her boy toy, and she fondles him. Now, I don't know if his member got exposed to the general public or not, but it was right on the line of Pee Wee Herman, in my humble opinion, because it was just really inappropriate. Now, the thing is, if you're a regular normie, a commoner like myself and many others, you could do that and it probably wouldn't be a big deal. It's a big deal because you shouldn't be doing it. and she got kicked out for it. Let's not forget that. So it's not like nobody saw it, because if nobody saw it, then she wouldn't get kicked out. She was kicked out because people saw her acting the fool. But if you're a regular normie and that happens to you, what's the big deal? Okay, you're working at McDonald's, flipping burgers, working the fries. If somebody says, hey, your worker was at the Beetlejuice Musical doing all kind of weird stuff, exposing the members to the general public, are you going to get fired from flipping the chicken nuggets and the fries and the hamburgers and the hot dogs and whatnot? I doubt it. But if you are a member of Congress, an elected official, maybe you might not get reelected. Just maybe. Maybe it'll go on the news. There's news reports. Look, if you're working at McDonald's, flipping the burgers, I highly doubt that if you are cranking it up in a musical, that your behavior will make it to the front page of a paper. I doubt it. But elected official, House rep, congressman, senator, president, vice president, what are we doing? What are we doing? You're not 15 years old. You're not a regular normie. You are in the U.S. House, not even in the state house. What are you thinking about? Inexcusable behavior. And again, she barely won the last time. If it's me and I barely won, I'm on my best behavior. And you know what I could do to ensure that? I don't pull out my stuff at a play. I don't behave foolishly, draw negative attention. And then in the play, she was reprimanded several times. Hey, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing that. It wasn't just like the vaping. It was several things, several times throughout the play. Now, who cares? Her constituents care, because the things that she had been doing, some of her antics almost caused her to lose the last election. She'll certainly lose the next one, in my opinion. And if people are doing stuff like this, what you're going to have is fewer Republicans in the House. Listen, this was an unforced error. She is pretty much she's almost guaranteeing that that seat is going to be flipped to Democrat. So you're going to have even fewer Republicans in the House. We're trying to get, it was supposed to be remember the red wave? Remember that? That didn't happen, the red trickle? It was supposed to be, okay, we're going to have the House and the Senate. Did that happen? We got the House, not the Senate. But when you do stuff like this, can we even hold the House? Because we barely got the House, and she barely won. So it's just, it boggles my mind. I don't really understand. It's so weird. If you're a regular normie, a commoner, who cares? A House rep in Congress doing this? No. If you are a 16-year-old in high school, or you're going to college, whatever, 36 years old, 4 kids, married. I was like, what do we think? What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't understand. It's so weird to me. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And then the defense. Oh, you're jealous. Jealous? Me? Of her? I mean, come on, man. Like, it ain't that deep. It is not even that deep. I'm just saying, let's not be dumb here. Let's not be dumb. That's all. I don't like people that do stupid stuff. I'm not jealous of stupidity. This was a completely unforced error. Now, I got video. I'm not going to show the video because y'all nasty boys, y'all want to see it. But I'm not going to show that. Like I said, I have it on my website, and I said in my video that's on my website, and you guys have been going there. I can see my statistics, and it's up. It's up, because you guys want to see that video. But I'm not going to play it. I'll show you a screenshot, and that's it. Because some of y'all are thirsty. Not you guys that are watching, but some people in this world are very thirsty. But here is a video of the vaping. Now, some say, oh, ABL is dark. How can they see? It's not dark right here, is it? Because you can see full color. And the lights are on. This is at the beginning of the show before the seats are filled. They're there, but you see plenty of empty seats right next to them. Now, eventually, you're going to see the vaping, the fornicating video or a screenshot of it, and the seats are filled up. This is at the very beginning. All right. And she lied talking about I wasn't vaping, but as you can see right there, she did vape. Why lie about that? What's the point in lying? Okay, I don't really understand. And then again, she is married, but that's not her husband. Going through a divorce does not mean you're divorced. It means you're still married and the divorce is not final. I don't want to hear no, I'm separated, you're still married. Okay? And part of the reason why you should not be doing this while you're still married is because what's the narrative? Married congresswoman fornicating with some random man in a theater gets kicked out. Nope, re-election over with. Over with. And all right, now here is a screenshot of the video. I'm not going to play it, nasty boys, but he is rubbing right here on their chest area, and she had her hand in his crotch area. So it's like you're doing all this stuff, the vaping, getting up loud, by yourself, clapping, singing, causing a disturbance in general, to the point where you get kicked out of the actual event. Kicked out. And then as she's leaving, do you know who I am? See, when you do stuff like that, now they can be vindictive and do stuff to hurt you. That's not how you talk to people at all. So here we are. Lauren Boebert. Oh, and the guy. Somebody said, play it. I know you want me to play it. No. Play it, please. Please play it. Sir, this is not XTube or the Hub or anything like that. You're in the wrong place. Please go there. If you want to see it that bad, go to my website, anthonyblogan.com. All right. If you can't make that extra click, please seek help. You got a problem. You have a problem. You need to get solved. All right. It ain't that deep. Now, let me go back. So the guy that she was with, the random person, watch this. Here's a update I did not play in my first video. All right, New York Post. Let's get this ad out the way. But watch this. You see this headline? Man groped by Lauren Boebert during frisky Beetlejuice date owns gay-friendly bar that hosts drag shows. You cannot make this up. You cannot make it up. All right, turn that sound down. But that's them being approached right there in the audience. And then that's them. I'm gonna stop it right here because they're probably gonna show the other clip I want to show. But the guy owns a gay bar or a gay-friendly bar that hosts drag shows. So, Lauren Boebert, you talking about being against drag queen story time and this drag stuff that affects children. And your man right here has a whole bar where they host drag shows. Now, how much you want to bet that some of the drag queens at this bar that her boyfriend or whatever owns, how much you want to bet that some of these guys do drag queen story time and have events in front of children? How much you want to bet that there was an event that had kids at his bar? How much you want to bet? Huh? See what I'm saying? And you're married. And you got 4 boys. What? I just don't understand. So then when you get on in Congress, listen, a debate, she's toast because, okay, she gets primary, there's a debate. All they're going to do is be like, well, you're talking about being against drag queen story time and this negative kind of pornographic culture. Meanwhile, what were you doing at the Beetlejuice musical? What about Beetlejuice inspired you to get freaky like that at the event? What about this guy that owns a gay club that hosts drag shows made you want to be with him after you get on stage in Congress and talk about how degenerate this culture is? And she got a grandbaby. Yep, she got a grandbaby too. A whole grandma doing this. It's like, so if I'm her constituent, I'm worried about her character. It's not matching what you talk about. Again, if you're a regular normie, who cares? You could do whatever you want, right? But elected official in Congress, in the U.S. Congress and U.S. government, you get held to a different standard. I'll presume so. Just like I don't want no crackhead around the White House. Who brought cocaine to the White House? At this point, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. we presumed it would have been we presume it would have been Hunter, but now it could have been anybody. I don't know who it was. It could have been anyone. Who knows? So it could have been somebody that's associated with somebody in Congress or whatever, because we're seeing this kind of stuff play out all the time. All the time. It's just weird. Okay, J-Man, so you're not confused anymore? I'm glad I clarified it for you, J-Man. Shout out to you, boss. I appreciate you. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. So yeah, that's what that is. It's like Lauren Boebert, you want to do whatever you want to do. Don't do it in public because you are a public figure. You got to understand this. And this is to anybody that's out there that may be listening. If you are a public figure, when you do certain things in public, you're being watched. Whether you know it or not, you're being watched. Even me, I'm nowhere near the popularity of an elected official or some of the bigger YouTubers. My brother Brandon Tatum went beyond me popularity-wise. Candace Owens, a superstar. I'm nowhere near their popularity. But even me, I watch myself and what I do and how I move in public. Even in private, I do certain things to where you're not going to hear ABL did X, Y, and Z because I don't live my life recklessly. I make calculated moves. I don't do things that I wouldn't want to have known to the general public. You know, it's just, I don't know. People got to make smart decisions. If I move like that and I'm not an elected official, I'm not as popular as she is, then why wouldn't she do it? And we're like the same age. She's like my age. So what's the excuse? And she has 4 kids. So you would think that she has these many children and been married for like 20 years. You would think she would have a better understanding of how to behave, but I can't tell. I'm famous. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. But seriously, Lauren Boebert, I would think people in Colorado would know who she is before they know me. You know, and that's okay. I'm not trying to be self-deprecating. I'm just saying that's just what it is. And with that, she should just understand how to behave. So yeah, shout out to her. Good luck in the election next time. Good luck, because all that they got to do is just say, "Hey, ain't this you? Ain't that you right there in the video from the theater, Pee Wee Herman style? Ain't that you? Didn't you say, do you know who I am? Didn't you threaten to call the mayor on some poor usher that kicked you out?" It's like, yeah, she is a grandma. Her son got someone pregnant. So she is a grandma for sure. Absolutely. Yep. Now, we have more, not from Lauren. That's pretty much going to cover that up. I'm going to read some of the comments before I move on, and then I move right along. But we have something from Trump as well. Shout out to my main man, Trump. Trump is a guy that did an amazing job for the country, but he's imperfect. And he had an interview with Megyn Kelly. And shout out to Megyn Kelly for getting the interview. I did not think that he would give her the interview because they had some issues. Remember the whole thing about she had blood coming out of her, whatever? That was Megyn Kelly. So I was surprised he gave her an interview, but he did. He was very gracious to do it. Megyn Kelly did not give him softball questions. She did not give him softball questions. And there was one question that he was asked that is kind of confusing in the way that he answered it. Now, let's go ahead and watch this right quick.
Can a man become a woman?
In my opinion, you have a man, you have a woman. I think part of it is birth. Can the man give birth? No. Although they'll come up with some answer to that also someday. I heard just the other day they have a way that now the man can give birth. No, I would say I'll continue my stance on that.
So, I mean, how you feel about that question and answer? One more time.
Can a man become a woman?
Is it simple as yes or no? If you ask someone, hey, Can a man become a woman? No. But his man is Bruce Jenner, right? They hang out all the time at Mar-a-Lago. That's his homie. So when he's asked this question, what's he going to say? And remember, Trump is kind of being consistent because he's kind of like on the edge. Remember in 2015, 2016, he was asked if a trans person could use the bathroom of their choice. He said, yeah, no problem. He said that back in 2015. So he's not really being a flip-flopper here or anything like that. But it's an interesting thing, imperfect. That's all I could say. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think Trump really changed his stance. I think he's kind of been on the fence like that. Remember, Trump came in not necessarily as a normie candidate or really a conservative. He's just more of a common sense kind of person. So some things that he may support may be kind of liberal, which is kind of middle of the road, which is why he had so much support, because he's able to get middle of the road, undecided independence, So what was the Bruce question? So someone says she asked about Bruce before that. So what was the Bruce question? That's a good question right there. Y'all let me know about that. All right. But we have a little bit more, actually. Kamala Harris. Now, this one was hilarious. Now, Kamala Harris, speaking about presidents and politics and whatnot, Kamala Harris, we all know that if and or when Joe Biden cannot continue, Kamala Harris takes over. We know how that goes, right? She is the next up. One sandbag away from the presidency. Yeah, Bruce Jenner. That's right. Shout out to Bruce Jenner. Is that what I said? Bruce Jenner? That's what I meant. Bruce Jenner. But anyway, Kamala Harris, she is not popular. She was not popular during the 2020 presidential election because remember, she ran for president back then. She polled at 0, nothing burger. The black community wanted Joe Biden over Kamala Harris, and they voted that way. Remember when Joe Biden went to South Carolina during the 2020 cycle? His campaign was kind of dead in the water, but it was revived in South Carolina because of the black vote, because the majority of the Democrat vote in South Carolina is black, and they know him from Barack Obama, and that's why he got back into the race, because of the black vote bullying him. They did not vote for the so-called black woman, which is kind of a stretch. I mean, if your father is from Jamaica and he is of mixed heritage himself, not really black all the way, and your mom is from the Indian subcontinent, you have more Indian blood than black blood, but yet you're black. Make that make sense. But anyway, they did not vote for the so-called black woman. They voted for the white man, the old white man, the racist white man. Vote for me or you ain't black. They voted for him over Kamala Harris. So nobody really likes her. The Democrats don't want her. Republicans don't want her. Nobody wants her. She polled at 0 during the 2020 primary cycle. She's polling poorly now. She doesn't do anything. She's the border czar, and the border is wide open. That border is getting the Olay treatment. Olay, come on in. All right. It's pretty much no security on the border. So what is she doing? What is her role? Her role at this point is community outreach. Okay, whenever there's some kind of event, a black event, some Indian or something like that, okay, you go into a black event, do your granny moves, Kamala. Hold on, matter of fact, like let's turn this down right quick. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see what song this is. All right, now we're not gonna. Let's go ahead and just play this without the music. So, do your granny moves right quick, Kamala. A little bit of music. Hold on. Do your granny moves at the hip hop 50th anniversary and at the White House adjacent place where you live. Your husband, the white man, Doug Emhoff, is not there because you got to look to be black today, right? So that's her job, to go to events, to dance, to cackle, and to spew word salad. That's her job. What about this says, you know what? She'd be a great president. if Joe Biden has one more sandbag attack, she's going to be pushing the buttons. I think not. Nobody wants her. Her own party doesn't want her. All right. Now, let's look at some people. Matter of fact, let's look at what let me see if I can find Nancy Pelosi, what she said. And Jamie Raskin. I guess Jamie Raskin is healed because I don't see the bandana anymore. Was that too much? I'm sorry. But anyway, let me just go ahead and put this up. Can we get it? Okay, an ad. Come on, CNN. Don't nobody get no time for that. But Jamie Raskin was wearing a bandana for a long time because of cancer treatments, but then the bandana's gone. So it was like, what's happening? I think that was just for show because, you know, politics is all a dog and pony show. And it gets kind of ridiculous. Okay, here we go. No more ad from Common News Network, but a ridiculous website to navigate. All right, let's do this.
The best running mate for President Biden. You've said you think Kamala Harris is the best running mate for President Biden. You've said she's excellent. That's farther than Speaker Pelosi went. But do you think she's the best? I'm not trying to throw anything into turmoil. I actually think it's a pretty simple question. Do you think Kamala Harris is the best running mate for President Biden? Yes or no?
I mean, but I don't know what else I can say other than she would be
yes.
an excellent running mate and an excellent vice president. I don't know whether President Biden has named his running mate.
I mean, you say, I don't know why you can say. The answer is you could say yes. You could say, yes, I think Kamala Harris is the best vice president.
Look at his face. It's like, why are you so scared to answer the question? And the music in the background, I have no idea. Like, who had that bright idea to put the children's bedtime music in the background behind this video? I have no idea.
And the best running mate for President Biden. That's the answer you could be giving right now. Yes, she is.
So I've not seen any public opinion polling. You might be a stronger vice presidential running mate than her or me or anybody else. I don't know who else, if you're talking about the polling. But
and then it says former Speaker Nancy Pelosi refused to say whether Kamala Harris is the best running mate for Biden on Wednesday. Are they going to show it? Let's see. No. An embassy poll in June gave Kamala Harris the lowest rating of any vice president in the poll's history. Wow. That's crazy. But are you surprised? I'm not. All right. So CNN, what's up with the music? Like, I don't understand. Can we not have that? All right. So that's that. But yeah. So let's show Jason Lee right quick. Then I may get to the calls and everything else. So Jason Lee is a celebrity blogger. And he's LGBT, of course, because why wouldn't he be?
Went to the vice president's house for the hip hop 50th anniversary hip hop party at her house. And I took this picture, you've seen it, but it wasn't the picture that I want to talk about. It's the video that's been seen around the world that I took. This video right here, if you've seen it.
So he's the guy that recorded the video of her dancing and cringe.
World to see it, and 20 million views later, it's clear that you have. I've been looking at all the comments over the last couple of days of everybody that's had stuff to say, from white folks to Republicans to black people to white people about what black people should feel about it. I've been looking at all the comments, and my only question is, why do y'all hate her so much? Why do y'all hate her so much? What has Kamala Harris done to you that's made you hate her so much? She grew up in Oakland, California, which is not an easy city to grow up in.
That's a stretch because she lived there for a while, but she really did a lot of her formative years in, what was that? It wasn't even Ontario. I think it was Montreal, Canada. Yeah, she moved around quite a bit. She was in the Midwest for a while. Then she went to Oakland. Then she went to Canada. So to say that she's from there is not really the case.
And as a mixed biracial child, which I could tell you as a mixed breed, it ain't easy. She became an attorney. She became a female attorney general in California, working under a Republican administration. She then went on to become a state senator that we all love because she was in their ass about stuff over there on the Hill. And then got elected as the first female and the first black female vice president of the United States. And somehow she ain't shit. She ain't shit. She locked up all the black men in California. Really? when I read, she's doing nothing for the culture. She's doing nothing for black people. Really? She's bad for the White House. She's taking us backwards. We're gonna vote for Trump. Okay. Really? One, y'all don't want to eradicate the police department for people giving tickets to you for speeding in a 25-mile zone.
Okay, let's stop right there. So this guy obviously is like a defund the police type character, eradicate the police, dismantle the police. But Kamala Harris called herself the top cop. She was the attorney general. Her job was to literally enforce the law. Her job was to enforce the law. So how are you going to say that you want to defund the police, but you support the top cop? Make that make sense. I hate the police, but the police chief, I love. The attorney general, I love. But the regular peons, get rid of them. It makes no sense. This guy's a nut.
You don't get mad at the police. You get mad at the lawmaker. Because the police didn't make the law that says you can't drive faster in that area.
The lawmaker, as attorney general, that's not what attorney general does. Okay, that's not what they do. That's not what they do at all.
Yet, as attorney general, for enforcing the 3 strikes law that was created by Pete Wilson, who was a white racist.
Okay, so the 3 strikes law, if the 3 strikes law is racist, then why would the enforcer also not be racist? I'm not saying it is, but he's saying that. How can you compartmentalize like that? It makes no sense.
In California makes her the bad guy. Half of y'all that talk about politics don't vote. The other half don't understand how the law works. And those of you that are talking about the 3 strikes law don't even live in California. So you don't even know how our laws work. Then you say she's not doing enough for the country. She's not the president. She's the vice president. But when you look at what the president is doing, he's done a lot for the country. He just ain't on TV every day talking about it. Why?
Jason, what has he done for the country? Give us a list of things. Shout, like, give me a list and we go through it and we could just see if it's true or not.
Why don't you know? Because their teams aren't communicating the best and we're not paying attention the most.
So, Jason, you right here on the internet with a big audience. You're Jason Lee, Hollywood Unlocked. You're a famous blogger. You tell us what's going on and we'll be able to receive it. You do that. Kamala Harris is your friend. You were in the White House or whatever that was at her property. Or not her property, but her house where she lives, the vice presidential quarters. You were right there recording the video. So talk to her, ask what's going on, and then tell us. How about that? Why not?
But what I will say is that when I looked at all the commentary of Kamala's dancing at the White House, at the vice president's party, it really disappointed me. There was a lot of great comments, like Black Twitter, a lot of great comments, people saying Auntie Kamala, and this is the Kamala we want to see. And I've told the vice president, I've told her team, this is what people want to see. But it was the racist, white supremacist uprooting of hatred towards a black woman that I saw from the right, and the complicit behavior of sleep black folks who were participating in it that disappointed me.
I'll pause it right there. Now, he's probably talking about me specifically because remember this article? You guys may have seen it when I showed it on the stream, but I put out, I reposted his video where she was dancing on my Twitter, and it kind of got some steam, and New York Post picked up my tweet. Okay, and they shouted me out by name. So you probably saw me. Let me just show this right quick. All right, hold on one second. So this headline in New York Post says, you see right there, New York Post, Kamala Harris mocked for granny moves at White House hip hop party. Pure cringe. Now, again, I reposted his video on my Twitter, and they are gonna, I think they showed it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find where, yeah, there it is. So let me find the excerpt where they talk about me. It says, Kamala Harris with the granny moves at the 50th anniversary of hip hop party, political commentator Anthony Brian Logan said on X, formerly Twitter. And then they linked to my post. All right. And obviously that's me right there. So you probably saw that. And then once they attacked me, but it's like, all I did was make a joke. If you can't take jokes, look, if you put yourself out there like that as a public figure, we're going to make jokes. If you can't take jokes, then you might not want to be a public figure. Go do something else. Go work in the back of the house in a restaurant somewhere, flipping burgers for your whole life rather than being a public figure. If you don't want to get any kind of public scrutiny or jokes or attention. But yeah, I'm asleep because I made a joke. You need to get real. And again, nobody wants Kamala. Nobody. Left, right, Nancy Pelosi was hemming and hawing. Jamie Raskin, no cancer bandana, he hemming and hawing. Oh, I don't know. I don't see the polls. But you want to say it's racism from the right? Nobody wants her. It's simple as that. It's not even about a color thing. Black folks, black Democrats don't even want her because, again, during the 2020 primary, they could have voted for Kamala Harris, but they voted for Joe Biden, the old sprinkled up white man. They voted for him over Kamala Harris. But I digress. If you like what you hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Yeah, if Jason called in one day, it'd be a great conversation. So if you're listening, Jason, call in whenever you want. Hit me on Twitter. We can have a conversation. It's all good. It's no problem. Okay, no, I'll talk to anybody that calls in. So shout out to him, but don't be triggered like that, boss. You put her out there publicly, you're going to get jokes, criticism. It's all part of the game. It is what it is. That don't mean I'm asleep for making the joke, and it don't mean that I'm asleep because I don't want to vote for her like everybody else don't want to vote for her. No way. But anyway, we have super chats on deck. I'm going to get to those. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Super chats first, then the calls. Think it's Michael Critchlow says, can we show some love to the Nebraska trucker who recently logged 5 million miles on the road without a single accident? Hats off to him. Shout out to him. 5 million miles on the road, no accidents. Amazing. Trucker of the century. Thank you to Kelly K for being a member who says, you know that lawyer wouldn't stay with her man. Thank you to F Ranger Xbox who says, Google Nancy Pelosi the smear video. Also, illegal aliens get $2,200 a month. Cell phone, Social Security pays $1,400. And also, NYC, Chicago are learning why they need an AR-15. Right on. Thank you to Monique Price who says, as a native New Yorker, seeing my city like this is depressing. But watch how nothing is going to change. They're going to keep voting for these same people. Exactly. And that is a problem right there. If you vote for the same people over and over again, you're going to get the same results. You can't operate this way. You got to do something different to get a different result. Shout out to Rick R, who says Salty Army. And also, we need to start feeding folks to the wood chippers. Lauren can go to. All right. I didn't say it. He said it. I think it's a Per Pill who says locks people up for drugs, then admits to doing drugs. Her own dad didn't like her. She's the cackle queen. She's vice president and can't talk right. Well, there you have it. Great way to sum it up as far as Kamala Harris is concerned. But the number to call again, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description. You can use that on and be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, talking about whatever's going on. All right. And the number is always right there. There it is, 434-658. Right there in the ticker. Also always in the description. All righty. Yeah, 5 million miles is quite a bit. You should go ahead and get a retirement. But hey, it is what it is. Who am I speaking to? 717?
Good evening, ABL. It's Moses. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Not much. Just recovering from the allergies, but you just gotta take them medicines, and you're all good.
Right on, man.
So I have some on my mind. It's a controversial topic, but I want to let you know about it because you have a bunch of subscribers. I think this is a really important story that needs to go out there, and it's really flying under the radar. Have you heard of a story that Mel Gibson is doing called Hidden War?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it involves Tim Ballard, and this is a 5-part documentary. They are actually looking into child trafficking, and one of the places, ironically, is in Ukraine. So they're going to do a lot of filming in Ukraine. They're actually going to catch a few people. There's I think Tim Ballard said that he had a list of hundreds of kids that were missing. And then when he went into Ukraine, it was in the thousands. So this is one of the reasons why we got to stop this war. Obviously, like all these people that are pro-Ukraine, fight for Ukraine, when they see this documentary, they're going to be in for a rude awakening because not everything is what they make it out to be.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. I like to see, I like to kind of see what's going on with that. I like to get a little bit more information and eventually watch it. So is it going to be a movie documentary? Like, how is it going to be released?
I believe it's going to be released on a website. I believe Angel Studios, the one that produced Sound of Freedom, is going to produce it on a website. I think you could buy it or stream it. I believe he said it on the Timcast IRL podcast. I think you could find it there when he did an interview with Tim Pool. But I would highly recommend for everybody to get the word out. Like, tell your friends about this, because I believe this is a very important subject. And not only that, it could shed more light on what's going on over in Ukraine, because I just have questions. You know, is the money really going towards aid? Was it going towards some nefarious? I mean, maybe I'm off the mark, but that's what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, that's definitely a possibility for sure.
Yep, definitely for sure. And then one last thing. Did you see what Joe Biden said about Hispanics and African Americans and veterans not having high school diplomas?
I did not.
So he goes on this, he's in the podium, he's talking, and he goes, well, all my career, I was helping African Americans, Hispanics, and veterans. You know, people that don't have high school diplomas. He said that exactly how it is.
Wow. And
it's so ironic that there is no race hustler, nobody that always wants to scream racism that's going after this guy. It's just hypocrisy, plain and simple.
That's crazy. That's totally. I've not seen that or heard about it. I wonder why the media have not touched it at all. Interesting.
Yeah, the media is not going to press it because they're doing their best to protect Biden, even though you can see the wrinkles on their face. They're getting gray hair. Some of them are going bald. But that's all I got to say. And one last thing, Lauren Boebert is not that hot, guys. I'm sorry. She's just like any other woman, you know. She puts her pants on one leg at a time. I dated girls that were a lot more better looking than Lauren. But that's all I'm going to say, ABL. God bless you. God bless everybody in the chat. And have a great night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Now, I found the soundbite from Joe Biden. Let's check it out. It's only about 20 seconds long, so let's go ahead and just watch it right quick.
We not only recovered all the jobs we lost during the pandemic, we've added millions more. We've seen record lows in unemployment, particularly, and I've focused on this my whole career, particularly for African Americans and Hispanic workers and veterans. You know, the workers without high school diplomas, the lowest unemployment rate in 70 years for women now.
I mean, you said what you said. I mean, how would anybody really defend that? Said it right there. That's your guy. 81 million. That's your president. That is your president, not mine. Not my president. All right, but number to call is 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. All right, let's go to 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm well. About yourself?
Fine, relaxing with a My Pillow on my back, and remembering all the good times. My wife, who's from Indonesia, and I would go to Cracker Barrel. She liked the store there, by the way.
Right on. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's just a little point store, but they sell, some nice clothes sometimes and cookware and some games and things like that. But, well, at any rate, that's not the main reason why I called, is because of the fact, my wife is from another country, and I wanted to dovetail in because of the fact I was born and raised on the South Shore of Long Island, about 40 miles east of Manhattan, New York City, where Ms. AOC All About Me and and Jerry Nadler and company had that disastrous press conference, which I think the disaster was well deserved. And people point out in the super chat that these immigrants were legally crossing the border. They're they're pursuing the American dream. Yeah. I mean, how many American citizens has ever happened to you? It's never happened to me, and I've been a citizen of this country for all 58 years of my life. I've never been on the taxpayer time, put up in fancy hotels, given 3 squares a day, given health care. I don't know what. I understand Curtis Sliwa, former New York mayor, said that given even motorbikes to ride around and all this stuff. And the thing about it is, they're wondering why the crisis is getting worse. Well, a lot of them have got smartphones and all that, and they're sending messages back home. Hey, man, cross the border in New York. Look what we got.
Absolutely correct. People think that it just come across with nothing and they don't know how to communicate, but no, they understand full well what's going on in this country and how to take advantage.
Yeah, and not only that, ABL, you got to keep in mind one of the big misconceptions of some of these people, including maybe Ms. AOC playing identity politics, is they're not from the Hispanic Latin countries, not all of them from the South here. Well, I understand there's many as 100 different countries, represented in the illegal border crossings. You ready for this? 100. You got people coming in from African countries. You got people coming in from Asian countries. You got, I think, some Europeans, some Ukrainians and Russians.
Yep. Coming
across the border. And, say, well, they're trying to escape war-torn. You mean to tell me there are 100 war-torn countries in the world? That's the majority of countries in the world. There's 192, from what I understand.
Exactly, correct. And then it's like, okay,
that's the thing.
If they want to escape, if they want to escape a war-torn country, why are they coming all the way across the planet? Like, you're coming from China, Africa, so there's nowhere else that's closer you could escape to. You got to come to America.
Yeah, exactly my point. And of course, too, my wife, when she was my fiance, had to go through tons of paperwork, had to pay a lot of, fees and all that and everything, including I got the assistance of an attorney to help prepare the paperwork to bring her here on a K-1 visa. We got married and were able to stay here in the United States. So all that cost me at least $18,000 out of my pocket. And yet these people are doing it illegally, getting those sponsors, and they're the ones getting the red carpet treatment. They're the ones getting the big welcome wagon.
Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it?
It is. I know it's infuriating to me, into that situation. I'm working right now to, see if my stepson can move here, and these people just hopping. We're, I only say this as a cliche to, reinforce the idea, hopping the fence, or like I said, a lot of them are treated better than even our military. A lot of our military veterans and even U.S. citizens.
That's right.
It's just. It is just so unbelievable, about this. Oh, and I want to say too, I agree with another Congresswoman, Lauren Boebert. I think she's done. I mean, she had this image of being, the great mom standing up for her boys, and she was, I know, popular with the NRA crowd because of the fact that I think she and her now looks like going to be soon to be ex-husband were running a restaurant in Colorado, supposedly was planning a gun ban. And, she said, they had a place that said guns were welcome here. And she ran pretty much on that, pro Second Amendment platform. And, the thing that gets me too is, in the last election, like you pointed out, she only won by about 500 votes, maybe less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and her Democrat opponent, he decided not to try to contest the election. He could have because the margin was so small.
Exactly, and then it's like I think like this is not going to help her, so it boggles the mind.
No, it is, because the thing about it too is now you got an era where I think people are looking to see a lot more genuine leadership, genuineness in the leadership. And Lauren Boebert now is coming out looking like an absolute hypocrite at best.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's people saying it's nothing. Hey, look, if a politician is going to give you a bad image about their personal life and be dishonest about it and not be genuine about it, you think they're going to be honest about other things, especially the policies they plan to employ? I had to laugh with what's his name, Mr. Crystal Ball there on the podcast. I forget his name, but about his defense of Joe Biden. It's like, okay, so he reneged on one of his big campaign problems. What's the big deal? I mean, seriously? And it's almost like Joe Biden said, 5 days after Afghanistan, well, people are falling from the planes and all. Oh, that was 4 or 5 days ago. Come on, man. It's like so long ago. Like, oh,
right.
All this disingenuousness. And of course, Kamala Harris is very disingenuous too. She also too bailed out those BLM rioters from 2020, or she helped lead a fund for that.
That's
and
right.
Keep in mind, most of those, I should say, mostly peaceful protesters. I apologize.
Exactly. I'm gonna cut you off right here. I'm gonna cut you, but I got a few more calls to get to. So thank you for your call, man.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to get up, but I said a lot. Take care. Have a good night. I know you got a million and one callers.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it. All right, now.
It's your thing. Right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. And thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Let's keep on rocking. 864. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Turk Stuff, still from Greenville, South Carolina. Enjoy the show tonight. I've got 3 things. The auto workers. So if they want a 40% increase in pay, does that mean that a $50,000 truck would cost $70,000?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How many people are going to be able to afford a $70,000 truck?
Right.
The only people that's going to help are the used car lot guys, because they're going to have more business.
Oh yeah, because I mean the cars are already getting to be too expensive. They've already gone up because of inflation.
Exactly.
And I've seen some cars for $120,000, like F-150, not even like a luxury F-150s.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. So this right here, it'll make it that much worse. It's to the point where it's totally unaffordable for a new car.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the other thing that was going up in New York City, I was saying how they have that need to be replaced or whatever. How come they're not having them live in their homes? That kind of thing.
Right. Exactly. If you want them so bad, have them live right in your house with you.
Yeah. And then the lady, the Republican that was at the Beetlejuice theater, I wonder how much did TMZ pay that guy that took the video?
I mean, it's a good question. It's really a good question. But see, she didn't do herself any favors by, like the exit of "Do you know who I am?" See that right there. If she didn't do that, then it might not have got leaked.
That's just so funny. Oh yeah. I don't know if you remember, but I have 2 green aliens that live here, and they do yard work for the neighborhood. They're 8 foot, yellow eyes. Well, I got them now cleaning the roofs off the house with the leaves. Well, the other day, one fell down, got up, got right back on the roof, no problem. So I'm trying to get his family to come down, and we can have the best haunted house in the whole neighborhood. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Right on.
But yeah, I don't understand some of these people. What in New York, where they're saying all this stuff, and you don't see them putting the people up for at their homes or whatever.
Not at all.
Okay, I'm going to hang up. I got bad reception right now. Talk to you later.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right. Shout out to the caller. And shout out to you guys as well. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Let's keep on rocking here. All right. And I thank y'all again for joining. 530, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Andrea. It's Raj from Santa Clara, California. Is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Appreciate your show. I just want to talk really briefly about one thing, and that is no representation for taxation. I don't know if you've ever tried I'm sure you have, and our listeners have as well, your listeners. Try calling up your state senator, your U.S. senator, your U.S. representative, even your state representatives. It's always the bum's rush. I called Feinstein's office the other day and just asked them, hey, what's Diana doing about illegal immigration? And it was like they just read a script and then hung up on me. And that's I never get any response of any value at all from these people. So I guess my question is, why are we paying taxes? We're not being represented. It's the Congressional Crime Syndicate of the United States. It's a vast money laundering scheme from the POTUS, I would say all the way down to the city level in most large cities. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news and be a kind of a bummer at the end of your call here, but it just seems like it's pretty much hopeless to fix in a constructive way, so to speak. Anything beyond that is you're going to end up in jail, or best case, you'll have the IRS knocking at your door like the guy who reported on the Twitter files.
Well, I mean, the best you can do is just get the correct people in office, because if you call in your people and they're doing nothing, then you got the wrong people in office. That's the best you can really do. Anything else, I don't really see the purpose. Get the right people in office. That's the best you can do.
I've called Republicans in other states, and I get the same. I get the same response. There's nothing. I don't really see any action. And I mean, is it just me, or when I like the clip you play of Biden, or any clip of Biden or Harris or 95% of our so-called leaders, it's like I'm living in a bad dream, and you're the only. I mean, thank God for people like you and others who we never had access to before. Otherwise, I think that it's just me. Oh, I must be insane. Biden he must be normal. Because the people that actually think that this is normal, yes, granted, I live in Silicon Valley, so I'm surrounded by people that might lean that way. But there's a lot of conservatives out here also. But it's like bizarro world, and it's I can only joke about it so much. It's out of control. I mean, look at the guy. What do you do? I mean, he's not running the show. Who is actually running the government behind him? It's a shadow government that we did not elect. It's obvious that he's not running it, nor Harris or anybody that we put in power. So who is actually running the show? That's scary. It's a scary thought in my mind.
Well, again, you got to get the right guys and girls in office, because clearly Joe Biden is not going to run the show, but that was the thing that we knew from the very beginning before he got elected, that he would not be running the show. Got to get the right people in there.
Agreed.
That's all you can really do. Anything beyond that is just, I wouldn't even waste time or energy even being concerned about anything other than getting the right people in office. We had Trump in there and things were a lot better, but now you got Biden and things are not going the right direction. So that's just pretty much it on a federal level. And the state level, it should be the same thing. Get the right people in office to do the right thing. Because if you're calling somebody and you're not getting anything and they don't want to do, if they have the power to do something and they refuse to do it, you have the wrong person in there and they got to go.
Right. No, I hear you. I hear you. My other concern, I'll leave you with this, is that I really feel like it's been taken over, the entire system, the whole voting mechanism. So we'll see what happens, this year coming up. It's going to be an interesting year for sure. So hopefully you have something shadowed on Odyssey or Rumble because we've got to keep you. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it here. So I'll let you go. Thanks for your answers. Thanks for your show. Thanks for being there, Adele. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Take care now.
All right. Shout out to the caller. But again, with the voting, I'm going to say it again. Your voting is a state issue. So if there's an issue with voting, you feel like it's not really secure, talk to your state legislators. State legislators, they're the ones that can fix that. Okay. The issues we have, like our voting system in Tennessee, paper ballots, ID, it's secure. California, a little bit different. When I go to vote, I got to show, look, when I go to vote, I have a location card where I go. I got to show my ID, get a ballot. It's paper. It's a Scantron, like old school Scantron with a pen. You bubble in who you want to vote for. You go to the front. You give it to the guy. He scans it old school style, like he about to be going SOL test back in the day, standardized test, Scantron, put it in the box, and then you good. You can see it going to the box right there. That's where you got to do it. It's just Tennessee. And then also in Tennessee, you don't have a party affiliation you register for. You just register to vote. You don't have to be voting for Democrat, Republican every single time. Like, you don't have to register as a Democrat or Republican. You could just register to vote, and that's it. Your states are very important when it comes to how your daily life is lived. If you're not voting in your state elections, you might as well not even vote. 843, you're on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. Tyler, how are you, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Hey, I was going to say it's a lot of joy and pain with Kamala, but watching her do the dance, you know, the Little Pistol Starters music, why don't she just put some Commodores or some Barcades or something on and be real about the era she's from?
Right, exactly, because you got caught lying about listening to Tupac in college, just like you were in college in the 80s. Pac was not there at that time.
And Snoop Dogg. Dogfather didn't come out till 93. I was already out of school then. So, right. I mean, yeah. So, and I might be tic-tacky, but like if a person will lie to you about something so silly as that, they'll lie to you about anything.
That's right.
But staying on that topic, when do you think the Silver Snake in California, Gavin Newsom, when do you think they make the move, and do you think that Kamala would, if they presented it to her, to just go ahead and stay her little VP status and go ahead and wrap it up with Newsom? You think she'd do it, or you think she might be too spiteful at this point?
I think what happened is Joe Biden will have some kind of medical emergency, some kind of fall, something happened. Yeah, something happened to Joe Biden. Then they're going to say, well, he can't continue. And then at that point, it'd be kind of an emergency. They'll sneak Gavin Newsom in through the back door. And I think close to that time, you're going to see a lot more of Gavin Newsom on television and whatnot. So the public becomes familiar with him more than what they are right now. And they just put him right on in there.
That's what I'm thinking, Bo, because, like, if you look at Joe's health in the last 2 months, I mean, it was sad before, but, I mean, it's ridiculous. They don't have any other play. And Kamala's just basically a wild card, I think, to them right now, and they just don't know what to do with her. That's where the joy comes in, is watching whoever's, pulling the strings. I suppose it's Barry and Mike, or whoever's pulling it, but they, imagine having to quarterback Kamala. Figure this puzzle out, but
yeah,
I'm with you, Bo. I think you're going to see a lot of Newsom in the next 4 to 6 weeks. You're going to see him slithering on out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, ain't no way anybody east of the Mississippi is voting for that fool. So he wears too much mousse or whatever he's got going on in his head. He looks fake. So.
That's right.
All right. Hey, good talking to you. It's tough to get through that you so big time, Bo, but keep at it, bro. We appreciate you now.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Take care, Anthony. All
right. Shout out to my man Tyler for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you guys for being here yet again. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. And let's go to 504, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? All right, I guess I didn't. I guess I was a little bit too slow to pull to the trigger on that one. Let's keep on rocking here. All right, Danny, what's going on?
Oh, hello, ABL.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, mate, it's Danny. How you doing, man?
I'm well, man. Can't complain about yourself.
Yeah, everything's good. Thanks for taking my call, ABL.
No problem.
Yeah, I've got to talk about my fellow Londoner, Russell Brand, if that's all right.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so what do you really think about it all, man? It's a bit odd, isn't it, when you think about it? Just the timing, or not the timing, but just, I guess, the accusations and what was those things you read out in the beginning of it, of like it was some like weird things that was said that had nothing to do with anything. What was that again?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Sorry, it was like them, so when they obviously sent him the letter or the email, they said some stuff in the email that was kind of just odd and didn't have anything to do with anything, like a warning of some kind, like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, or something.
Yeah, so they were trying to tell him that he cannot report on news and some things that he does. They shouldn't be saying certain things. It's like, well, how is that related to the accusations? Because the accusations are that he abused these women, that he assaulted them. So how does one thing relate to the other? I don't really understand. Is it about just trying to silence me, or is it about trying to find these victims justice?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I found. Yeah, that's what sort of what I found extremely odd. Is like, what does? So do you want him to come out and say, okay, I won't speak about politics ever again, or big pharma, or this or that, and just don't come after me. I've taken your warning. It's like, is that basically what you want? Is this like their warning against him? I don't know.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, because again, I don't know about the evidence or what accusations, what women it was. I mean, it's all a bit. I think again, it's just maybe just a smear campaign, because obviously he's got a big reach. He's very extremely critical on big pharma, especially over the pandemic with Pfizer and all the vaccines and the trials, and then the CDC and the FDA. All that, like he's like really in depth when he talks about that stuff, and obviously the topics he talks about, and he I guess you could say they're quite conservative, right, like conservative talking points, but most of the stuff he talks about, he's just telling the truth. He's being honest. He's looking at the facts and he's reporting it. I mean, it's funny how when you report facts, all of a sudden it becomes a right-wing talking point. Isn't that odd?
It most certainly is. Absolutely.
And from what I know of Russell as well, like he's fairly liberal, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure he's quite. I don't know if he's a centrist or if he's liberal. I mean, but he just. I guess he's not far enough on the left, is he, for these people?
Exactly. From my point of view, he's a stone cold liberal. Well, I won't say stone cold. He's more of a center left kind of person. Not a crazy liberal, but most certainly a liberal.
Yeah, so he's like someone I could actually like. He's in my head. He's like a liberal who I could actually sit down with and have a proper debate, a dialogue, and like have like common grounds. And not, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, 100% correct.
Yeah, I just feel like again, you can like the accusations. It reminds me of that woman who, accused Trump of raping her like 35 years ago, wherever it was, and then she went on like, I don't know if it was CNN or one of them, and she said, well, he didn't physically rape me, he mentally raped me.
The silliest thing I ever heard in my life. It's like, what in the world are we talking about? Like that word is very specific toward a certain act. So either he did it or he didn't do it.
Yeah, it's actually like a comedy sketch at this point. And then she starts saying to that guy, I can't remember his name, but the white guy, he looks like a robot with glasses. And then like she said to him, well, like some people some women see rape as like it's quite attractive.
He's talking about Anderson Cooper. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and even isn't he like he started to I think he was getting extremely uncomfortable with just how like odd she was, and it was hilarious. Like,
yeah, he was very uncomfortable because it felt like she was like trying to flirt with him a little bit in that moment. So it's like, first of all, this dude is gay as gay can be. Second of all, you're talking about being assaulted while at the same time trying to flirt with me. It's like, are you okay? Are you on drugs? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, like she's barking up the wrong tree there.
Yeah.
Like these are the people that, again, that they're just so desperate. They're getting these people to come after Trump. It's this person that, like, it reeks of just desperation, and it's just disgusting. It doesn't matter what way you look at it. It's just disgusting. But what do you expect from these people? But yeah, sorry, one more thing about that I'll be really quick about the Lauren Boebert issue.
Yeah.
Like I agree with 100%. I know there's two sides to it. Like one side is like, well, you know, they're adults, you can do what you want, who cares? And you know, we've all done it, blah 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 blah. But it's like, but she's not just a regular citizen, is she? She's in the spotlight. She's a public figure. And I guess when you're out in public, you've got to kind of watch your surroundings. You've got to be professional at all times, and because any little thing you do can be caught, right, and reported.
Absolutely. Anything you could do, because the eyes, people are watching you. Like, you may not know that they're watching you, but everybody knows who you are. You're a public figure. You're on television. They're watching you. So you got to be on your best behavior.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of sad, but I guess it's the world we live in, right? Isn't it? I mean, you run for office or public figure or whatnot, whatever. You've got to just be professional at times. I mean, look, couldn't you just kind of keep your hands to yourself, wait another hour, and then go do it in the car or when you're back home? I mean, Jesus.
That's what should happen, but people don't think like that all the time. They don't use their brains all the time. They kind of just shuts off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. It's like, look, man, just give it a bit of time and then do what you need to do at home. You know what I mean? Because out in public at the end of the day, no one really wants to be seen, you know, any hanky-panky out in public. I mean, whether you're gay, straight, whatever you are. You know, it's just, that's all, you know, privacy is for the home, right? Not, you know, out and about. But sorry, yeah, ABL, I don't take off too much time. Great show again, and yeah, appreciate you taking my call, mate.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to my man Danny from UK. Most certainly appreciate him. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, my brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I have to agree with the young man from England about Lauren Boebert. You know, I don't need to know about your sex life. I mean, when you're in public office like that, you got to watch your P's and Q's. I mean, I don't care, but it's disgraceful for her to be out there at, you know, at her age, an adult. I don't mean she's too old or whatever, but as an adult, she should know better. She should have enough intelligence to realize that the other side is just going to play that on loop before her election, and she's done. She's done.
Exactly.
She's oh, and in case everybody out there didn't know, Joe Biden owns 10% of a Chinese electric car battery factory that manufactures the batteries for the EVs. In case you didn't know that, you know, it's kind of like Nazi Pelosi and her stock picks, you know. We'll send, what's her name to jail, Miss Home Improvement. Oh, God, I can't remember her name. I lost it. Snoop Dogg's friend.
Martha Stewart.
Miss Home. Yeah, Martha Stewart. Thank you. I can tell you everything about her. I just couldn't remember the name. Oh, shoot. And, you know, I lived in Italy for 3 years on the Iron Curtain in the Army. Io parlo italiano molto bene. I also took some culinary classes while I was in Italy. So I make tortellini alla panna con prosciutto, sive, and formaggio molto bene. But also make shrimp scampi, you know. Yeah, I like to cook. And cookies, I make a Tall House chocolate chip cookie with crushed walnuts and just a touch of nutmeg in there.
Sounds great. Sounds amazing.
Okay, oh, yeah. And then oatmeal cookies with coconut and a touch of cinnamon in them. Just a background hint, not overpowering. So, yeah, but I've been cooking since 1966 because my dad was in the Navy. He was gone for like 3-4 months at a time out to sea. And my mom was working because I was the oldest of 6 kids. So, you know, you grew up tough. You had to survive, you know, and I'm teaching my son how to cook now because he's 11. And, yeah, so enough about the cooking. But yeah, I think New York City and Chicago is starting to figure out why we have a Second Amendment and why you need an AR-15. It ain't for deer hunting. It's the government needs to be afraid of its people. And it was blatantly clear that those clowns are working for their special interest. They're working for their donor class. Those we need to get the convention of states going, and we need to kick these bums out. We need term limits, first of all, and their retirement program, where they can retire at 106 years old and still get wheeled down on their medical bed with their IVs and stuff and their heart machine onto the, Senate floor to do a vote. And no, we need to get rid of this. I mean, there's got to be a competency test. They need active drug testing, because her acting that way after she's vaping, I'm kind of thinking there wasn't nicotine in that, because Madison Cawthorn said he's seen senior leaders of the Republican Party bumping cocaine. And if you wouldn't remember this, but I remember this when I was a teenager back in the 70s, that we had a page boy senators, the senators were having sexual liaison with young boys and cocaine in the Congress and Senate back in the 70s. We need drug testing for these clowns. If you got to take a drug test to work at Jiffy Lube to keep your job, then why shouldn't this person in charge of the American economy, the health and well-being of America, take a drug test? Because that's how they get them. They got them all blackmailed. They'll do whatever the industrial military complex wants them to do, and they're just going to get out there and read their script because that's what they were told to do. We got to change this stuff, ABL. We got to change it. I mean, right now, I'm pointing the finger, because I live in Connecticut. I hate this state. I wish I was back home in Florida. But I point at these guys. I'm like, you got what you asked for. You voted for this. Enjoy it. I'm sorry. We tried to tell you. You called me racist. You called me a bigot. You called me this. You called me that. My wife's not American. She immigrated here legally. And to the guy that paid $18,000, buddy, I don't know. I filled out the paperwork myself, did a fiancé visa. I paid $347 3 times, $1,000 for airfare. My wife came here, and then we got married here in America. And she had time that if she didn't like me, she could turn around and go back home. But that's all I got for you, brother. Love the show. God bless America. And as far as Ukraine, even when I was in the Army back in the early 80s, 79 to 83, Ukraine was the center of where they took all the girls that they kidnapped from Eastern Bloc countries, crossed them over the Iron Curtain, and got them working in all the houses of ill repute throughout Europe. That's just what they've been doing forever and a day. This is nothing new. I've said it before. I said it like 6 or 7 months ago. Anyhow, you take care, brother. God bless. God bless America. Shout out to all the ABLers out there. And you know who I'd like to see? I would love to see Larry Elder as vice president under Trump. I think that would be awesome.
That'd be
Anyhow,
a great
take
pick.
care, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Take care. Love.
All right, man. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And the number to call, 434-658-1220. Let me get a few more in here. Let's go to 215 for the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, can you hear the background noise?
I heard a little bit, but it's not too bad.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you right now. So, you know something? Somebody tells me I was at work today. Somebody told me, was trying to talk to me. You know, it was a black guy. He was trying to say, the white man, Trump, and all them. They in government. Trump caused this. They're still trying to blame Trump for everything, even though Joe Biden's been in office for 2 years now. And get this. So here's what I started saying to people. I said, well, since everything is still Trump's fault, everything that's happening now under Joe Biden's administration. So I was like, wow, so Trump still has that much power and control over everybody's lives and still has power and control over the government and over everybody. So why would he even need to be in politics anymore? And if y'all voted for Joe Biden to stop Trump, well, we might as well just get Joe Biden out of office because he's not doing a good job because apparently he still can't stop Trump. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. That was very well said. Now, what was their response to that?
Oh man, the response. They barely had a response. They really had nothing to say for that. Cause it's like he said, "Look, brother, I'm trying to tell you that X, Y, Z, that Trump is racist. He don't like black people. That's why." I said, "Okay." And even if he didn't, but at the end of the day, how does he still have? Does he have any control of what's going on out here? All the stuff is his fault? Because you still blaming him for all the stuff that's going on out here. That you're basically saying he has that much control over everything that goes on in America, and he don't even need to be in office. Oh, after that point, they had nothing to say. They just, I was like, they just walked off. They said, listen, brother, you just do your research. Joe Biden is a good president. I said, obviously he's not because he can't stop Trump. Oh.
Very simple.
Yeah, and honestly, and another thing I want to say about AOC in New York, first I've seen her when she was in the hall, she was dancing, like doing little dances when they were booing her on her of a terrible job she was doing. Second of all, I'm hearing them shouting, close the border, close the border. But then she's just completely ignoring them like they're not even there. I'm like, y'all voted for this person? Honestly, I don't feel bad for anybody that votes for her and y'all suffer, y'all deserve to suffer because you voted for that person and they're showing you they don't care about you. She's not even hiding it. She's showing you.
Exactly. Right in front of your face.
Exactly. And one more thing, ABL. Did you see recently over in Chicago, not only did the Mexican migrants take over, they're hosting like their Mexican Independence Day right now in Chicago. Well, if it's still going on. I don't know if it's still going on, but I know it's been going on for at least a week now. The Mexican Chicago Parade.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
And, yep, they're blocking off traffic and doing all that stuff in Chicago. I was like, wow.
Oh,
honestly, I don't feel bad for the Chicago. You know what's funny? I'm a black man. I don't feel bad for none of those people in Chicago that voted for that dude, and he said he's going to bring immigrants over here. And then when the immigrants come, now y'all want to complain. You know, just sit down and be quiet. I'm not going to feel sorry for none of y'all.
Exactly. 100% correct.
Yeah, and I'm at the point, I just say it too. I was like, listen, y'all ain't got no right to complain because y'all wanted this, so hey, y'all got to deal with it.
Right.
But ABL, thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, have a good one.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. 773, you don't learn who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Hey, I'd first like to say that you're definitely a media influencer, ABL, because I understand Starbucks is coming out with a sushi mochaccino dedicated to you. So you can start drinking at Starbucks.
There you go.
Right. I wanted to comment on a couple of things, ABL. Number one, this thing about women being paid less. That is a fallacy, and I'll tell you why. Any female Chicago police officer that sat next to me at the police academy gets paid exactly what I was paid. As we went through our police career, they got the pay increases exactly the way I did. The only difference in pay would be if you have more seniority where you started earlier, your pay increases come quicker or sooner because you started before me. But it's exactly the same, or unless you make a sergeant or lieutenant or whatever. When I was in construction, there was one female construction worker. She got paid the same as the rest of us, even though, quite frankly, there was a certain amount of the work that she couldn't do because of her strength or lack of strength. Here's the thing. You saw that female soccer player that gets on TV all the time and talks about the difference in pay between men and women. Well, here's the thing. If you're able to generate the money, you'll get paid more. Men's soccer, men's football, men's basketball, generate more money, so you get paid more money. It's the same on YouTube, ABL. If your channel is monetized and you have 1 million viewers or 1 million subscribers, you make more than the person that has 300 subscribers, regardless of your gender. So that is all nonsense when they say the difference between, men's pay and women's pay. I'd also like to quickly talk about Russell Brand. I think Russell Brand is, a comedian, but and he talks about his past and his drug use and all that. But I think he was brilliant in doing what he's doing. He's getting there, and it has a sound of truth to me. As I said, if it doesn't make sense, you have to be suspect of the truth if it doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me. They're going after him because, first of all, I think he's got 6 million subscribers on all his media platforms, and he's criticizing these people. And suddenly, lo and behold, these rape charges come out 20 years later. Not a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, not 15 years later. He's always been in the public eye. But now, once he starts attacking, the media and drug companies, suddenly he's a rapist and these people come out of the woodwork. It's suspect to me. It could have happened. He was a heroin addict and, always drugged up. And maybe he had a tryst with somebody. He didn't ask their age, and they were, 16 instead of 18 or whatever. But it doesn't ring true to me. It doesn't ring true to me. So I think he's doing the right thing and just being transparent about it. I think that's important. And then the last thing, ABL, is that whole thing with AOC. First of all, most of those people protesting in New York on the street are probably Democrats that voted democratically. It's that it's now slapping them in the face. And that's the thing. Suddenly, when these policies come back to haunt you and slap you in the face, now you're out there. Most Republican people don't go out on the street to protest. Most don't. I bet most of those people were Democrats out there screaming and yelling, send them back or close the border, because they see the disastrous effects having an open border like that has now wreaked on New York City. And the last thing along those same lines is that this was their idea from the beginning. Let's get them over here, just let them in. Now, she was saying about giving them work permits. Oh, now you want to give them work permits because they realize, a lot of them don't want to work, but there are some that want to start their lives here in America, and they want to, they left wherever they're from. Maybe they were, construction workers or chefs or cooks, or whatever the heck they were, and they want to work and they can't because they don't have the proper documentation. Well, AOC and her ilk, they all want to get them work permits. After getting work permits, now it's these people work legally here. They contribute to America. Let's get them to vote. That was the whole thing from the beginning. Let's just let people flood in here so they can vote Democratic, because if you're smart, you won't vote against your own interest. Because I wouldn't. Even, a lot of these people from these Latin American countries, they are Catholic. The Catholic religion is the biggest in Latin America. They don't believe in this whole transgender thing. They don't believe in a lot of the things. They just want to come to the promised land. They want to come to America and have a better life. They were able to do that. They should have did it legally, but they didn't. Because of these Democrats, they flooded into our country. And of course, even if I disagree with you, my best interest is to vote for you because I want to stay here. So even if I don't agree with all your policies, the one most important policy is to let me stay in America legally, so I will vote for you. They want to give these illegal aliens the vote. And the first step in doing that is give them a work permit to work. They plan on keeping these people here. And as I said before, They're here to stay. You're not going to get them out of this country. Here's the thing. Here's the one last thing I'll say about that, ABL, and then I'll let you go. You know, once you're in this country, the best thing that can happen is these illegals stay waiting for money to come from our government. And the reason I say that is, as long as you're on a list waiting for housing, waiting for social services and all that, you can identify these people. If you can identify these people, you can also send them back. But once Trump, the smartest illegal alien was the one that came here illegally. They crossed the border and they disappeared into society. They didn't ask for a handout. They didn't ask for housing. Why? Because now you could disappear in our country. If Trump wins this next election, or any Republican really, but mostly Trump, if Trump wins this election, watch how fast these people get off the government dole, because they'll be fearful of being sent back. And if you're taking government money, you could be identified. And if you could be identified, you could be given social services or you could be sent back to your country. If we win the election, these people are going to go underground and they'll be here to stay. As long as they're on the government dole, we can identify them. So, you know, this was their plan all along, is to get these people here to vote. And that's the sad thing about it, what's going on in America today. Anyway, ABL, thanks a lot for taking my call, and I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right. Fantastic call. Great way to end the show. Thank y'all for being here. Yet again, you guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. So if you couldn't get in tonight, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. You know it ain't my fault. As I always joke about, oh, I'm tripping. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing stuff way too early. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back here live again on Wednesday from same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern. And shout out to you guys for being here, for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I thank you. Could not do this show without you. Shout out to the moderator. Shout out to everybody that made this show possible every single week. I appreciate it. All righty. Now, I got super chats. I think I got some of those. I think I might just have one here. Shout out. Oh, I got a few, actually. I got a couple. Shout out to Versified, who says, gotta send you this since I learned my lesson. Dated while in the waiting period of my divorce. Dumped her after I saw her real side. Gonna be MGTOW. Well, there you go, man. Shout out to you, and enjoy your life and enjoy your freedom, and don't get caught up. Don't get locked up. Don't get caught up. You hear me? So shout out to you, Versified, for your donation. And thank you to Eddie Sawyer for the big donation, who says, great work, brother, on your channel, and much respect. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you for your very kind words and your generosity. But I think that'll be a wrap for me. You guys have been fantastic. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, of course, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. This is also a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the box. Or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. I'm going to upload that right after I get off of the stream, and then it'll be available in the morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But that'll be a wrap. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.